what you're doing on your side, but we're live on mine. Let me double check with that.
Awesome.
Wait, I can't. But at least I can see chat. That is very good to know. I made that fuck up. Oh God, my own voice. No one likes listening to their own voice. So let's get into this. Maybe wait a bit to see if people come in for introductions, but give yours for the crowd. Who are you? What do you do?
Muted
and
myself. Wargaming Dad. I do a lot of, right now I've just mostly been doing kind of just anti-woke, screaming at the anti-woke for a while. I've never done, I just really got into being on the internet, but I've been getting in the trenches and enjoying myself fighting with this new aged anti-woke group that has kind of taken over the Gamergate movement.
Gamergate 2. Gamergate 2.
No, it's Gamergate 3. It's Gamergate 3 now. Gamergate 2 failed, according to JDA.
JDA. The most trusted news on FanPulse.
That's right.
Now we might actually go over that article if we go time. So, timeline for anyone watching from the start. We're going to be going over basically the foxhole of Kirsche, however you say that name, Cancellation. Put quotes around that particular thing there because, yeah, they sort of went after her sponsors. I'll give that. Nice. Very soy ass shit. But it's not a cancellation in the old way. Go.
Yeah, I'm going to say it wasn't a cancellation at all. And I guess there's some going after the sponsors, but I think she was more egregious in that act. But I'm sure we'll get into that. I'm not even
canceled the cancelers.
Yeah, she canceled the counselors that don't even. All right, that we'll get into that later. But I have my own thing on how cancel culture actually worked back in the beginning of the.
Trust me. There's a certain segment that I'm going to have to take the hit on at a certain point. I'll be like, damn, this is going to hurt, but I have to admit, my
where's my Wiggler going?
Man, bye, Wiggler. Okay. Start with the timeline here. Yeah. I did a video 9 months ago where then I did a stream to follow up. Not going to go over it. People can watch either one of those on my channel if they want to rehash that. This is what I did it on. Basically, upper echelon, good dude, old school anti-woke guy. Haven't watched yet. Heard about Bridge through a post on Kotaku in Action subreddit. Never heard of you before because she kept trying to say, why didn't he credit me for Bridge? Because he didn't hear about you. You didn't invent Bridge or coverage of it. I found it funny, so I did a whole video and a follow-up stream. Her response, appreciate the reply, my dude. Like I said in my video, I didn't think you were being disingenuous. Just didn't know about Bridge, which I go over in my video where I think his understanding of Bridge is better than hers, which is understandable since I'm literally the one talking about it. Happy to give you all the links and sources if you want. Trying to position herself as an expert. So a little bit of background. I'm going in sequence throughout all this particular thing. Any more general thoughts before we... that's just me. Any more general thoughts on this whole stuff before we get into the timeline I want to go down?
No, yeah, go ahead. I've already kind of reviewed a good portion of it besides some of the newer stuff that came up. But
we're not going to be able to go over the article because it is down. She canceled the cancelers, okay? And I will agree with the cringe that is in there. So let me pull up this particular video. I have timestamps. I wanted to be quick with this, a quick rundown, because this seems to be what might have prompted that journalist to take issue with Kirsche here.
That journalist is a whole different ballgame too.
Yeah, even if I think the misunderstanding about the POCD is real, it still doesn't make the journalist much better.
No, not even a little bit. But anyway, here, I might have to leave a second.
Okay.
So let me pop back in.
Leave. See how I feel. Okay. Well, might as well go over this as it goes.
Boom, I'm back.
Yeah, that was a quick way.
Yeah, I just had to. I didn't have the count signed up. So there we go.
What? Switch to these tabs because I did this ages ago, and people were talking about -8, which is an artist who admitted that he likes children. And I feel like when somebody admits that, you don't try to be like, oh, well, aunties made him do it. That's a little fucking weird. And the first time
I didn't know about this. There is way too much out there in the world. But yeah, she talks for a bit. So I have little timestamps. Let's see if they're still there.
All set. So
I will go over this. I'm not going to have the backing of a research psychologist. I'm not sure if he would even agree with this.
In looking up POCD, because before I talk about something, I typically want to understand exactly what it is. So this is a 2018 Science Journal. Pedophilic sex offenders are characterized by reduced GABA concentration in the dorsal anterior cingulate cortex. Basically,
we're going to go over the geek stuff for a bit, so going to lose probably most of the people.
Something wrong with their brain.
I don't know how she gets away with going over this stuff. I guess she's cute enough and busty enough to keep them with all this psycho babble.
Characterized by abnormal sexual urges toward prepubescent children. Child abusive behavior is frequently a result of lack of behavioral inhibition, and current treatment options entail, next to suppressing unchangeable sexual orientation, measures to increase.
Repeat that.
I said it's the jiggle physics.
Gotta love jiggle physics.
Which may further.
I worked on that back in the day. You know, I like the jiggle physics. Okay, I don't know about on VTubers, but I'm not going to deny jiggle physics. Okay, not going to deny. Okay.
Sexual disinhibition.
I just like it better on real women. Okay.
Fair enough.
And therefore has been discussed as an important vulnerability.
Sorry.
I said I don't understand the whole VTube thing. It's really weird to me.
No, neither do I. Neither do I.
Factor to sexual delinquency. So essentially, in the Bradford Journal talks about how when someone is a pedophile, they typically also will exhibit comorbidities of other mental illnesses. Often they will exhibit OCD, they will exhibit ADHD, they will exhibit anxiety, depression. There's a lot of comorbidities when someone is a pedophile. So
she's throwing a lot of fucking people under the bus. You know, if you have you're diagnosed with any of this shit, you know, you could be a pedophile. What the fuck? God. I just hate this. Go on.
No, I say it's. I mean, there's this. I don't necessarily disagree with her, but I don't know. Wouldn't this be like the ideal pedophile, and a pedophile that wants to stay away from children?
That's because none of you motherfuckers know about psychology. Why are people getting their psychology from a fucking VTuber like this? Oh God, I could explain. Also, this whole thing is funny because she's talking about a research paper. Yeah, I'm a nerd. I went to college, so maybe I've been brainwashed a bit. No, probably not. But then in the end of the day, this is just way crazy if you know anything about this. And I've done research on this because I've gotten into the lolly wars, and I'm just like, why are all these retards talking about this shit? I really don't know.
This isn't saying that there's something that is POCD. This is saying that paraphilia is
pedophilia from the South.
Well, at least you're willing to admit it. Okay. Some people won't. Some people try to go outside their lane. Okay.
Signs you might have relationship OCD.
But yes, she was doing this whole thing about the research about the brain chemistry that makes a pedophile, which seems to be the truth. We don't know what causes pedophilia in people. There's a lot of theories on it, either trauma mixed with some sort of brain damage that puts someone in a childlike state, you know, like Michael Jackson. Technically, who knows if he was a pedophile, but there's a good chance, given the research out there, he was stuck in his childlike state because of what was done to him in his childhood. Did he molest those kids or not? I doubt it. I think he was chemically castrated or some shit. But take that with a grain of salt. So she's going over the brain chemistry in this. And yes, this is a lot of boring stuff, and I find it really funny what it's going to lead into at the end of the day.
Nice.
Oh, you're live now. Good to know. You should go to his chat. Okay, you should go to his chat. Probably more exciting than mine
if you want to. So welcome to my chat, anyone who comes in. Sorry. And we're talking about Kirsche today. I'll get this YouTube and thing down one day with old Vincent. I'm going to have Simon. Yeah. I'll have Simon in it a little bit. He's probably the more lefty guy. So we'll see what his takes on this.
Yeah, and I have my buddy who's a Kirsche fan, who's a gay VTuber himself. Queer? Mm-hmm. Yeah. If he said something about a nap, so we'll see how that goes at the end of the day. Otherwise, we might pull. Never mind. Oh, hey! I'm on the wrong thing. I should just exit out of this. It's gonna fuck with me. Okay, back to this.
Signs you might have suicidal OCD. You get the picture, right, chat? Like, he's made a whole bunch of fucking subgroups in 2015 of OCD, and of them, there's this article, and pretty much everything I've seen that talks about pedophilia OCD cites Jordan Levi as the source of the information.
Where is she getting this information from? Seriously, this is just funny as hell to me. Okay, let's take a quick shot because I did research. I'll bring it up later. Okay, this seems like bullshit because this guy's a behavioral science, behavioral cognition guy. Okay, he basically retrains people, tries to retrain people's brains through behavioral stuff. Pretty much, that's the layman's term of it. Okay, I think it's pretty weak. This is why I didn't actually go through with my psychology degree, besides me being lazy as hell. Psychology is a soft science, okay? Those pills they throw at kids, typically they're just throwing shit at the wall and see what sticks. That's how bad psychology is when you really get into it, when you know what's going on. And that probably causes more, well, my uncle was like back in the day, he was like a NASA rocket scientist way back in the day. He had burnout. He went for medication and that fucked him up even more. So I'm very skeptical on just throwing medication at people and hoping for the best. This guy doesn't do that. What she was starting with was an actual paper talking about the sort of brain chemistry of pedophiles, what they knew at that time, earliest things. This guy is doing something different, and this Made of Millions guy, the guy who started this, he's very sus. This guy's sus also. I'll agree with her. What this guy says is pretty bad.
Dr. Jordan Levi is a licensed psychologist specializing in the treatment of anxiety and obsessive compulsive disorders. The diagnosis of pedophilia has absolutely nothing to do with the diagnosis of POCD. Avoidance plays an important role in the perpetuation of POCD. Individuals suffering with POCD will do everything in their power to...
What?
Like, why would... Okay, I know I'm a dumb layman, but why would pedophilic obsessive compulsive disorder not have anything to do with pedophilia?
Because in reality, the way I see it actually defined, let me just skip real here. This is actually a paper that probably article that came out way before. She says Levi was the first person to do this. I'm not finding any dates on any of his articles. The best I found was sort of this probably predates it. So this is why I'm going to make fun of her later when she's like, fact check me. I didn't see anyone else talk about before 2015. What does this say? 2015, right? And this is from this is from Shepard Pratt. I have the link somewhere. But yeah, and there's this more recent paper done by research psychologists. I just want to point out this. Let's compare the guy who Kirsche is using to make her claims compared to those who seem to have more credibility with the paper on the subject matter. So the lead person compared to who she's using. Cherry picking is the argument I'm making. This is Jordan Levi. Whoops. This is Jordan Levi. This is not his IMDb, his fucking LinkedIn. Okay, his experience, his education. Okay, let's take a look at this. Not bad, not bad. Here's just the lead writer on that recent research paper. I couldn't even fit all of this on one screenshot.
That's crazy. Field supervisor.
Research. She is a researcher. Okay.
Yeah,
this guy is just a clinical psychologist, probably trying to peddle his shit. I agree with her.
Mm-hmm.
His stuff sounds fucking insane, and that's going to probably lead to the next point I want to get into.
Ensure that these fears do not come to fruition. Treatment for POCD entails engaging in exposure therapy while simultaneously addressing the shame resulting from stigma.
Yeah, that's insane.
What was the sample size? Hold up. Exposure therapy? Yes, you heard that right. Imagine one day you are walking past an elementary school playground.
Oh, God.
You glance over at the children.
Yeah, I'm skipping this. I mean, she's absolutely right that this is fucked up as all hell. And this is what's going to lead to the sort of thing that I wish Simon was for, because I know he has a video.
If you are afraid you're going to become a pedophile, spend time.
No, it's going to be relevant to him in particular. So we'll watch a little bit of this born on nerd stuff that only I can.
Around children so that you understand you will not become a pedophile.
No, I am not.
Is what he means by exposure therapy. The next time that you are in a similar situation, you were probably acutely aware and on guard for whether there were any intrusive thoughts present.
Sorry, man.
Now, whenever you walk by a school or playground, you avoid eye contact with everyone. You check where your hands are to make sure you won't accidentally touch a child inappropriately. And you're on guard and panicked that you will experience more.
The way I'm reading this is more akin to a phobia. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I can see that. You're afraid of being a pedophile?
Yeah, because of different reasons. Okay. There's a article going through it. It's like this might happen to a woman after postpartum depression in reality. I'm like, that would be fucked up. People sometimes kill their kid after postpartum depression.
Yeah. Yep.
Really fucked up shit. Oh God, I wouldn't wish that on anyone. Okay,
and this wasn't as severe as some gets, but yeah,
this guy seems like he's creating the all-encompassing theory that covers all OCD for some reason. I don't know. He sounds like a quack from everything I've read.
It's I think it's a hard thing with these kind of like you said, psychology is a soft science, so anyone can come in and say anything. It's like this newfound thing where they've got multiple personalities, but instead of it being crippling, they're all like quirky.
Okay, he's in.
Oh,
there we go.
I was trying to figure out how we were doing this.
It's okay. I'm 40. I was having my trouble. It took me forever.
Well, we're getting to the best part, the part where you, Simon. Give us an introduction, man. Let's do the introductions.
What's up? I'm Simon. I'm just basically a small ass YouTuber who I wouldn't even call myself a YouTuber, more so a writer and a random nobody who just mostly writes fantasy novels and stuff. But aside from that, I'm basically here just to kind of talk about the whole Kirsche drama as well, since I've been kind of following this whole thing. Because, covering Rev and all that shit also means I also kind of have to get familiar with what Kirsche's up to.
Yeah,
let's actually get into this. I already went over the pure mind fuck of her talking about all this psychology. You know why she went over all this stuff about POCD?
Oh, Simon? The POCD thing. If I'm not mistaken, that has something to do with food shops?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing, because I've actually spoken to food shops. I don't know what the whole story is with her with about that, but I've seen the clip that she's talking about. And from what I can see, it sounds more like a phobia than anything else. It doesn't seem like anything else. So whenever it's like, I don't know, man. It's like this whole thing just sounds like a massive fucking spin, because you have a phobia of something. It's like, what?
Yeah,
it's a fucking phobia. It's a phobia. It's a phobia. Anything.
But she's fallen for the sort of she did do the sort of Jordan Levy thing that she pointed out with the lolicon. I admit that. It sounds like fucked up science. You should not expose yourself to that sort of material if you have fear. I understand exposure therapy, but for some things, no, you don't fucking want to expose yourself to that.
Yeah,
especially not when you're a fucking streamer.
That's one thing as well. It's like, honestly, I don't really know what the whole deal is with that, but from what I've spoken to food shops about, she seems to be pretty down to earth and overall just kind of like overall rational individual. I don't get those type of vibes from
I
her.
wouldn't say rational, but she also deals with queemen on a regular basis. Gets farmed by queemen and is trying to make it in the scene. God, that woman's a mess. Yeah, that's how I know her. Queeman milked her for content for a while. Okay, early in his career.
Okay, because I don't know what the whole deal is with her. All I know is that I kind of discovered her through when Rev made his little call out video and Asmongold kind of dogpiled. Yeah, that one basically.
Yep.
So
let me just play a little bit. Then we'll move on.
Like a fucking seething about him and Asmongold. And I was like, hold on, I've heard that name somewhere before. And there's this content creator named Ace.
The guy who's obsessed with the same person Kirsche tried to do a hit piece on a while ago.
Okay, so hold on. Acer. So I've heard of Acer. I'm not familiar with Acer phone, but what the fuck is the deal with him and Kirsche and a hit piece and whatever? Like, what's that about?
I don't even know. She tried to get Archcast to disavow him, I guess, a while back ago. You can see it on the screen.
Hold on. Archcast basically.
Yeah, you can see the Archcast
involved. Yeah. As much as
that's actually one of the dramas I'm not familiar with. Like, you're actually teaching me something new today.
Yeah, we're going down the timeline. I brought this up. She definitely, one of her fans, one of her A-loggers made this fucking 300-page doc with mountains of evidence of Dev lying. No one's going to read all that shit, even if he is lying.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I've heard of the Dev situation. I don't know what the whole deal is with it. I personally have a few gripes with Dev as well, but I don't really care all that much to actually really give a fuck.
Yeah, I agree.
Page doc, Jesus
Christ. Yeah, that's just something insane. Okay, I think that's all the stuff. I went over how she used low-hanging fruit to sort of make her argument. This guy, comparison to just one of the researchers who did an actual research paper. Seems like my theory of low-hanging fruit in action. But we can move. Yeah, let's actually get off of that. Any more to add to the sort of poison in the well and sort of like the hookup of that? Because this Ace guy is psychotically on Dev's balls. I have problems with Dev, and even I think this Ace guy is a little insane with it.
Like, honestly, I've seen a couple of Dev's videos. I personally don't really have much of an opinion on him, other than there's a lot of shit that he does say that I personally disagree with. So I can really comment on that. I'm not familiar enough with what the whole beef between Dev and Kirsche was. All I know is that supposedly Dev was Dev's fans were harassing her or some shit like that. That's all I'm familiar with. And
yeah, he bullied Picamine. He did some crazy stuff with Picamine that I don't care about. Okay, maybe it was bullshit. Probably it was bullshit knowing Dev. Okay, but Kirsche is just poisoning the well with this content creator. And this is what I wanted to go over, because where I think it really pops off, because that article that she recently got taken down was up for almost a month. Why did she wait until they got
Soyboy constantly stalks Kirsche?
Sorry, there will be.
Soyboy constantly stalks Kirsche, trying everything that they can to cancel them.
I am only playing this first part because I think Asmongold subreddit controls his ass. That's the way it seems.
Here's the thing with Asmongold, man. Like, he's just a fucking moron.
Like Daniel
anything
Penny.
He says is you can't take it to face value, dude.
He's completely controlled by the audience, because he used to be really big about not getting into politics. Well, and then after his comments that got him banned on Twitch for a couple of days, or for 2
Fuck
weeks.
it. Let me go full board with this bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean,
Then,
I can't blame him to a certain degree, but still.
Well, you know,
have your
I
own
thought what
mind,
he said
man.
was funny.
I mean, I don't really
Funny,
think.
but
I mean, here's the thing. Like, I don't think it's anything to do with money. If that's what we're talking about, because let's be real, Asmongold at this point is loaded and could easily take an early retirement if he wanted to. I just think he's just too far gone at this point. I got a feeling that there's like some sort of mental illness going on in that head of his, to the point where he doesn't even he's talking about shit that he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. He's lost. Guy really has lost the plot to a certain degree. That's what I've noticed ever since he stopped playing WoW. It's like he's completely lost it.
I think it's personally, I think it's he says he doesn't like to be, he says he doesn't care what people think, but I think he greatly cares.
He greatly cares what people think. And
yeah,
at
and
the
so
moment,
with that, he'll follow the flow of what chat's getting him. And for a while, his chat's been getting more and more anti-woke. You know, it's pretty typical stuff that's happened. So it's pushed him over the edge into politics that he's now kind of floundering on.
Yeah, and there's
it's funny how easy you can control him via his Reddit. I find that hilarious. The Never Know Best that I found because of Krutosis and other people, he literally pinned Asmongold's reaction to it. He played the man, okay? I think he played everyone, but that's a different matter.
I had to actually see what that's all about, because again, I follow. There's only so much I can listen to Asmongold before I just have to tune him out.
Not gonna blame you. I'm not gonna torture you too much with this particular matter. We're still waiting on our Kirsche fan to sort of pop up. Anyways, they might flake out on me. Okay.
The whole George Floyd incident and the Summer of Love, the Carmelo Anthony.
Yes.
There's just a lot of people tired of the two-tier justice system, and they start saying some crazy things and doing some crazy things. That doesn't make it okay, but it's that's just.
So she even says that doesn't mean that it's okay that they're doing this. I'm just explaining this is why they're doing it. But this was intentionally cut out of context in this article.
Wait for it. This is just funny as all hell what he does here. Let's give it a bit.
And the goal of it being intentionally cut out of context is very clearly to make her look bad.
It's very clearly to make her look bad.
Is what happens. It goes back to the Michael Brandhans. Unfortunately, that doesn't make it okay. Oh, sure about that. I'm just saying in general. People are tired. That's where we are, unfortunately. That doesn't make it okay. Oh, here it is right here. Claims that people are tired of two-tier justices.
Here it is. Do you see that? They took her out of context. Look at how she goes on. And then you present it with this. Oh, here they get into it. So did they take her out of context or not? Does he mention that? Well,
no.
Comment.
He's already forgotten about the paragraph up above. So
yeah, Simon might actually be correct. This could be coming from brain damage. Okay. I don't know. This is either dishonesty or just pure and utter brain damage. That's all I can think.
Because here's the thing with Kirsche, dude. She's all the comments that she passes is it's not a one-off thing. This is a constant thing with her. And how are you supposed to take her out of context when she says shit like this on a daily fucking basis? It's
it's called gish scalping, okay? It's a gish scalping technique, okay? And there's so much bullshit within what she said, just from the limited amount of crap that I've seen her say.
The fucking fucking how many pound whatever mosque fucking comment. It's source nothing. And I'm pretty sure that there were actually
just jokes. They're just edgy jokes.
According to well, that's the thing. Edgy jokes. First of all, they're not funny. And that's what they're meant to be most of the time. The whole thing of the mosque, it's you call that an edgy joke, you're literally reporting a fucking article at that point, an untrue fucking story. And the whole George Floyd things, okay, whatever, you want to call that edgy joke, sure, but dude, that's so fucking out of fucking left field and poor taste at that. It's dude, there's a difference between passing an edgy joke every once here and there, but when you're fucking doing it on a regular basis, you gotta question, do you actually believe the shit you say if you're willing to spew it this often on every single fucking stream? It's like
just, doubt the credibility of reality, and with her narrative, his narrative that Asmongold picked up. At the end of the day,
see,
okay, he go.
Oh, go. I was gonna say, like, there's a portion where I disagree with you, Simon. I think edgy jokes can be very funny, but where you're right on that is, yeah, she's not telling edgy jokes. She's just reading whatever people will think is edgy over, out of an article, and then making a really blatant dumb comment about it, like anything that you would hear any right-wing comedian
that's
say.
the thing. Here's the thing with me. I don't care about edgy jokes either. I pass them all the time with my friends in private, and hell, even if I was on stream, I'd probably pass a few of them on my as well. But there's a time, there's a place, and then there's like there's
the question: what makes it funny? Okay,
what makes it funny? So
that's a question I'd like to ask people.
Really, it's like, and again, people are going to say, "Oh, but comedy is subjective, whatever." Yeah, okay, dude, whatever. Comedy is subjective, sure, but there's like a point where you're going past a joke over reading comments. It's like, dude, shut up. It's not.
Well,
funny.
I think, like, okay, if I'm going to be reading an article, which the whole thing with the mosques was, she had no idea what she was talking about. So if you're gonna be edgy towards a subject, at least know how to be edgy. But like, if I was going to go into that kind of subject, I do something like, oh, here we go, going to be talking about the Browns again, and actually get into some kind of real, which that was a very lazy version of it, but some real talk on the subject, give a real opinion. It's not an easy joke, or it's not a funny joke, just to read the same rhetoric you hear other, culture war guys spit. Has no deep dive.
But then you also have like the whole like George Floyd jokes, which personally, I'll be honest with you, if it wasn't for the fact that it's so goddamn often, I would have probably found it funny. But she does this all the time as well. Like, it's like, dude, it's been fucking what, how many years has it been since? Fuck, because 2020, 2021, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
it's the illusionary truth effect, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, I have a perspective, a weak perspective in psychology, and I'll take my alma mater, basically the place where I got my digital communications degree. Not that great of a school, but they sort of kicked off Gamergate with a couple of their articles. I'm not outing myself here too much. People would have to look that up to know, but I find that just very funny when you really get into this stuff, this sort of rhetoric, because I was great at my rhetoric class, okay, and my marketing class. In psychology, I did okay, but that's how I do this.
But anyways, as I was saying about edgy jokes, it's like, there's me personally, I don't mind edgy jokes. If you're going to just make it funny, like at least the timing for it, make it fun. Make the timing work, make it make sense. Don't be like fucking like it's off-putting over whatever. It's like, but when she ever passes like the George Floyd jokes, it's like, I wouldn't care so much.
Combined with her sort of pseudo-intellectual bullshit.
Yeah, it's like, exactly.
Is, a little like a modern Bailey of a sort, a switch and bait. I'm going over these academic papers to prove someone is a pedophile by misreading research and using this cherry-picked example. That's
or
why
hey, I'm going over this article and there's they mention George Floyd and the fucking Black Lives Matter riot, and start singing a fucking cringy ass fucking George Floyd joke. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up.
And I'm one of these people who are like Derek Chauvin. I don't think they proved that he intentionally murdered. I think they got him on that. I think it was definitely manslaughter. It shows that the police were not trained, but everyone was like down with the police. No, they need more money. Don't defund the police. You need better fucking training for these police officers so that shit like this doesn't happen. That was my perspective on that.
You need
I don't
people
know if
who actually don't discriminate in the fucking in the head of the police as well. That's also another thing you need.
Yeah, but you get that in both ways, depending on what district you're in. You'll have some racists and you'll have some anti-racists who
I
are
mean,
like, yeah, you'll get both sides.
And that's the thing, personally, like that's one thing that as someone who's from Canada, we don't have that problem with cops here. Like we do have dirty cops, we do have pigs. I will give you like any other country. But when it comes to a whole discrimination thing, it's not like we don't have that sort of problem here. And when we does happen, they tend to get axed off the force pretty fast.
Yeah, well, in the States here, a lot of cities have, affirmative action. Most of the police forces, like in Chicago, Baltimore, a lot of these places have a majority Black population of police officers. And it's like saying they're racist. Same thing with New York. I think they have a majority police thing. And saying they're racist, it's a little bit weird to me. Okay, we got a little bit dirty in here, and police officers, I think, really get shaft when it comes to some of these conversations. Because yeah, there's some dirty fucking cops down here. Hell, there's even a whole series about that, The Wire, that was rather popular like 10, 20 years ago. But yeah, we have a lot of fucking problems with policing, but it's more about training and procedure. But they want to defund. So I understand where they're coming from with this, but I'm not radicalized on this and saying, yeah, let's just flip the thing. Like,
No, I
think it comes. So I used to do a lot of cop watching stuff. I used to watch a lot of cop watching stuff.
Like donut.
I have a lot of
operator?
friends. Not donut operators. I like watching him because he probably gives the fairest take. But I watched, God, I can't remember some of the names. And my take on it is it's really dependent on the county, the state, the city that you're in, because you can have like. I know a lot of cops here in my area, and they'll tell you straight up that they have some problems with people, but it's not always easy to go that. On top of it, you'll have precincts where I think there was one in Arizona that the county had to come in and they did a standoff with the city police because the city police mayor was involved in some stuff and that his boys were protecting him. So it's a very case by case basis where it comes down to. I think some of the smaller cities
devils in the details,
worse problems. Yeah,
I think it comes down to that. Let's finish off what I want to highlight in this clip.
And seem to insinuate that Shiloh Hendricks' usage of the N-word was just a consequence of where we're at now. It is. She's right. Everybody's getting mad at her for saying this, but the fact is that she's completely right. And people want to complain and get.
She's completely right. That's just the end of the story, man.
About what? Saying the fucking N-word to a goddamn kid?
Yeah, that was propped up artificially, I think. The other side definitely propped up the Carmelo. I think that's a little fucked up, but I think this is a more egregious example of it.
It's like, dude, it's like, what are you, like, this whole thing, it's like, I just find it so fucking retarded because it's like saying, oh, hey, because the left or whatever, they used to fucking like do this shit as well, and this whole fucking narrative of, oh, white people bad, blah blah blah, because of a few fucking idiots on Twitter, and now you have like people being blatantly racist and saying like the N-word to a fucking 5-year-old. It's like, dude. In what world is this okay to defend? In what world is it like she's completely right to say this? And in what world do these idiots go and fucking fund money for a woman?
It's to compensate. They have their martyr who's a murderer. We have our martyr who says the N-word to this dipshit because of their children. This is just going to accelerate both sides. It's a reactionary movement, probably artificially propped on both sides. I don't know who really. I'm sure there's some people who think, yeah, this kid was just racist, but his dad was fucking defended the motherfucker. Like, don't think this is about race. Don't think this is about race. Did you guys see any of that? Dad sort of cucked out for it. He was like, don't think it's about race. Maybe he is afraid he's going to get attacked because his son was murdered by a black guy. I don't know.
That situation. I mean, why would it have to be about race, though? Why? I mean, the dad is completely right. This is basically a fucking tragic situation that happened between like two kids.
High schoolers, yes.
Yeah, two high schoolers. Let's not even fucking put the race in there. It's a tragic situation that happened where one of them got fatally stabbed and died. It's like, why make this political? The dad was just saying what needed to be said. Don't make this a political thing because it isn't. It was a kid who did a stupid fucking decision that ruined this man's life, took that of his sons, and clearly ruined this kid's life as well.
But the left's been doing it so long that, of course, they have to do the exact same thing. Doesn't that make total? No, it doesn't.
Give me an example of the left doing this. Like, give me a fucking example.
I'm mocking in reality.
I know exactly. I know you're mocking it, so that's what I'm saying. Give me an example.
Yeah, give me an example. Okay, this is an example where they're trying to make it about race. I'm one of these motherfuckers who are like, let's go back to the colorblind bullshit instead of this racist versus anti-racist. Okay, because they're both sort of racist.
And here's the thing, dude. A lot of these idiots, a lot of these fucking dipshits have this fucking mentality of, oh, let's move back to, it's supposed to be colorblind or whatever. And this is something I see from both the left and the right. The left, this is something I see like POC casting. Like, you ever heard of that?
Yeah. Diversity checklist. I've done a little bit of that.
POC casting.
I find it bullshit.
Person of color casting. Person of color casting. That's what it is. For voice acting, I think it is fucking stupid. Because the whole point is that you're supposed to be using your voice. But the arguments I get from people on the left is that there are too many people in the industry who get special treatment because they are white or they're a certain skin color. And I look at this and I'm like, dude, did you ever look at the people who get this special treatment and who these individuals are and what their background is? And it's not always because they're white. It's because they come from a place of influence, a place of wealth, and they have connections. So whenever I hear people saying, "Oh, but it's to give smaller voice actors who aren't from certain ethnicity a chance to do it," it's like, dude, how about you stop fucking hiring people like fucking Nolan North, fucking Roger Craig Smith, and all these other big name voice actors, and start giving other people a shot instead?
Well, yeah, there was a black voice actor who got fucked over on, what was it? Adult Swim, Frylock from Ultra.
I'm terrible with actors' names.
I remember that. There was also the Bender thing where Hulu wanted to fuck over I believe it's a white guy. They fuck over voice actors all the time. Okay. And voice actors fuck over each other like Vic Mignogna. They love that. I don't know.
And it depends. Me personally, I don't really care because I've worked with a few voice actors. I've did like a few projects where I had voice actors come in. I don't really care. Like, if I'm looking for a particular accent, I don't care what the person's skin color is for the accent. Now, if you're going to tell me, oh, you're trying to get a certain region accent or whatever, okay, fine, whatever. I can kind of get the whole point of that. But being Mexican doesn't mean that you are tanned, if you get what I'm saying. If you're trying to get someone to get like a very specific, like Southern American accent for a voice role.
Yeah, it's very different than, off subject.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. Occasionally I like to get a little bit off track, but you got to reel it in after a certain point. So let's continue. I don't think there's very much to this.
Her canceled and tried to make sponsors leave, etc. Here's what I think that a lot of these sponsors
do. I really care what you think. What you think is determined by chat. You didn't even fucking read the whole article. This is what gets me about Asmongold. He relies on his audience to feed him most of his information. He depends on his fucking subreddit for topics. They control this man like a fucking puppet. And I have to bring up, look at the sidebar. Alex Jones. That isn't the funniest one. The Shinobu Kaho is now hosting. That's a ex Japanese porn star. I love that. Good selection. Alex Jones and
well, now that you pointed out, I
Japanese
actually
porn
find
star.
it funny that it's actually like Alex Jones is in his fucking feed, which is hilarious as fuck.
I don't know if he's racist. I don't use that terminology. I think he's off his rocker.
I didn't say
completely
racist. I
insane.
just find it funny that he's in there in his feed.
Okay, I must have misheard. Sorry.
Yeah, you did, Missy. It's okay.
Okay.
You're just looking for racists around here.
Yeah, I am. I'm looking for racists everywhere. But yeah, I think that's about
to
it.
realize a lot of the public is waking up to these obvious lies, and
they're going woke. Asmongold is telling people to get woke. That's what he's doing here.
There are, I think, infinitely more people that agree with Kirsche and also agree with like my same take on this as well than the people that agree with these mentally ill.
Yeah,
there's
pause it for a second. Like, here's the thing: most people don't even like fucking Asmongold. Like, this is the sad reality. Yeah, when he says a lot of people agree with me,
don't speak for most people. How's
but that's the thing. It's like this when he says most people, he means people who are fucking basement dwellers who spend most of their time on the internet. Like,
I hate to tell
shit, and I think you're both full of shit. I don't know what most people think. I don't pretend to know.
I don't.
I just know he's full
most
of shit.
people, when you bring up Asmongold in the real world, and like people who actually go out and touch grass, they're like, "Who?
Yeah, I'm sure they don't know him."
It's like unless
he's
you're
basically saying they woke up. They woke up. Okay, he's talking about he's gone woke. That's all I'm saying here. He's clearly gone woke.
Like they woke up. Here's the thing: woke up to what? Because this is the part that also annoys me as fuck. Is because these idiots, like these jackasses, they complain about all this fucking leftist propaganda bullshit. Yet they're out here fucking like propagating the same thing before the right. It's like
two things can be bad.
Yes, exactly.
Here's my thing.
Bad, and Hassan can be bad at the same time. Which one is worse? I still think it's Hassan overall, but that's just my opinion. He's been bad for worse. This dipshit comes in. He is also bad, but he hasn't been as bad for as long. So that's my judgment there.
So here's my thing on it. Like the pendulum, like when Asmongold says we just woke up, like this battle has been going on since before Trump was first elected the first time. How are people just now waking up? People have had a problem with a lot of the wokey stuff for a while. You know what I mean? And even when it's out there in the, hold on, I'm losing my train of thought here. They've been doing this wokey thing for years now. So what are we just now waking up to? In fact, the pendulum's already all the way over on the right.
Oh yeah,
it's starting to swing back.
Yeah, it's all the way over to the right, but it's like gone to a point where it's like it's so far to the right that people who were actually on board with it and we're kind of like saying, yeah, this is getting ridiculous.
So I've been working directly with
Sorry,
like,
I was loading up the next thing.
No, this ain't it, Chief. Like, this ain't it.
Yeah, I was one of those guys.
I mean, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I was also kind of on board to it to a certain extent, but I've also had a very like more or less like neutral stance on it. I could kind of see like both sides of the argument to some extent, but at some point, at some point, I was more so on the red pill movement, but eventually that fucking kind of changed when I started seeing how
Kate, the Matrix. Okay, he's also someone I consider woke. Okay, woke right, red pill woke, the red pill version. I've been on the woke right shit. I'm not gonna derail too much with it.
I mean,
I will bring that up.
I mean, I've been on it to some extent too. Like, I'll be honest with you, I just kind of started like snapping out of it during Gamergate 2. But like I said, I've always had like to some extent some very like left-leaning belief, but also some like believe in shit that comes from the right. So when people tell me, "Oh, you're a leftist," or you're someone you're a fucking right winger, because I don't fit in any group. I get told by fucking people who are on the left that I'm a right winger, and I get told by people who are on the right that I'm a left winger, because I take some and leave some from both sides. It's like,
hey, we're not centrist. You can label us as fucking centrist. We're not. We're just normal guys, opposed to fucking
Purple
stuttering
pill.
Craig,
I mean,
who's just a fucking bitch who won't even disavow Grums. But that's a side tangent.
well, no, that's another subject. But I hope we'll talk about that in this as well, because that's actually funny as fuck.
Oh,
there's a lot of
Greg isn't just he's not a centrist, he's a full-on cocksucker.
Oh,
I don't care what Grums is doing.
we all know Grums is a cocksucker. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he sucks his own cock. Okay, like Mama Max. I still have that clip around. I can suck my own dick. I'm sure Mark Kern has a clip like that.
I got tired Kimoji over in my chat, says we love an enlightened centrist or centrism.
When I was at LARPing as a centrist, I went with radical centrism, but that didn't become cool after I learned rules for radicals is something all these dipshits seem to be following.
Yeah.
Because I might have got some info from someone who used to work for Mark Kern, and he told him to read anarchist cookbook. So yeah, very based of Mark Kern, anarchist cookbook.
It's a fun book.
No, rules for radicals worse, but it's Sargon approved. But we're getting off on a separate tangent.
Yeah, Grums is a whole different story. Let's stick to
let's get back with a little bit of a clip from Kirsche.
Responding to me, wanting to work with them to promote the game. And so I had been working directly with them since the beginning of last year. The way this stops is to make the company and studio's effort to revoke more costly than the perceived outcome of maintaining said ties whenever hit pieces like these surface. Absolutely. It's the same.
Okay, hit piece topic. Let's get into it. I don't think that was a fucking hit piece. I thought, despite how crazy the fucking writer might be personally, I think it was a well done article. Anyone wants to hear me scream in your chat on Gaming Daddy's chat about that? You can go check his channel out.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't
think it was. I don't think it was good put together. I think it was incredibly soy. I'll agree that there was some clip chimping, but the thing is everything she says, like the article pretty much just said what she says. That's all it is. I don't think it was a well put together article. It's just a soy article talking about a righty.
Personally, I'll be honest with you. I'm going to give my 2 cents on this. Like the article itself, I'll be honest with you, I don't really think it was that good either. It's just basically telling us shit we already knew about Kirsche. Like at least people who are familiar with her crap are already aware of. But at the same time, it's like, personally, this article would have probably hit hard better if it was just somebody else other than Anna writing, because this whole situation amounts to that whole fucking like meme of two retards fighting.
Yeah, it comes down to that. Another problem I had with the article itself is that and this is where they hung on to they're trying to cancel her thing. The whole thing was written as a note to GamerSups.
Yeah.
GamerSups was mentioned in the beginning. GamerSups. So, I mean, I can see where it's like a cancellation piece, even if it's a very bad.
No, it's going after her money in reality. That's not cancellation, though.
But here's
okay, that's trying to cut off the funding source.
But that's the
I'll agree with that.
That going after her money, like to some extent, like this is the part where you and I had a disagreement. War. Like,
yeah,
like this personally, if this was a cancellation thing, for me to consider it actually cancellation is if people were going after her sponsors over petty fucking shit or dumb shit she said like 5 to 6 to 7 or whatever, how long ago, and it was like a one-off thing. But with Kirsche, it's not a one-off thing. She does this all the fucking time. And constantly people pointed out to her, You were wrong. You were lying. This is false information. This is fake news. Why are you propagating this bullshit? She's a fucking
But she's
grifter.
mad about the leftists doing this for 10 years.
Exactly.
It's their turn now. It's their
But that's the
turn
thing.
to be
She's-
disingenuous.
That's the thing. Her whole fucking shtick is grifting. It's lying. And personally, when you have a following the size that she has, you have a responsibility to some extent to not be a fucking hateful piece of shit, get your fucking facts straight, and actually apologize and own up when you're fucking wrong. And Kirsche doesn't do any of this. She never does. She doubles down, triples down, and fucking victim blames. So when it comes to going after sponsors, you have a platform. You were supposed to use it responsibly. And when people, no matter how much people complain about and say it's wrong, you need to fucking stop this. Then personally going after your sponsors, it's fair game at that point, because now the only message that you're going to seem to understand, the only message that you actually are going to understand is the bottom line.
Okay,
Because
so I have
everything else hasn't
fake
worked
news,
out.
and I give War turn to speak his piece. Yeah, this is fake news, guys. I mean, it's a rumor. It could be true, but it's not confirmed, so it's fake news, guys. Go on, War.
Yeah.
You respond?
So here's my thing on it. I take a very libertarian approach to a lot of the stuff that I do. And part of that is not actively attacking stuff. There's two parts to, like, in my opinion, Kirsche can say whatever dumb shit she wants over and over and over again. I don't care if it's wrong or right information. She can say it and people can call her out for it. But going direct, like what the article did, going directly to have people attack the sponsor, and I'll get to a good way it happened on here, I think is directly wrong. You can call out her stuff and things like that, but when you're trying to interrupt another business, then I have a problem. You're emailing them tons of stuff. This person's a horrible person, things like that. Where I agree it was a good way to go after it was the other VTubers who are canceling their sponsorships. We don't want to be a part of gamer subs. Canceling your boycotting, I think, is a good way to go about it. Actively attacking the place and interrupting their business with emails or calling for that kind of stuff, which the article didn't really do. It was hinting at, but is where I find it.
Yeah,
wrong.
but she's willing to do the same thing to the corporations, as she just brought
that's
up.
the point that I'm getting to. Her case is more egregious, actually, because she actively called to action for them to go put false reviews on a game that they weren't even attacked. They just chose not to associate with her, which is their right as a business. And she actively sent people out. She even told them to go into their ticket stuff and start spamming things, which is an interruption of business. So hers was far more egregious than an article mentioning gamer subs. But I'll never agree with.
That's probably, honestly, like, if you're going to mention an article, like, I can kind of agree with you, like the whole disrupting the business thing type of thing, for like to some extent. Mm-hmm. But if you're just bringing up their sponsors and saying, kind of like doing a subtle call to action in an article, it's not the same as weaponizing your fans to go and fucking mass report something or mass review bomb something. You're writing an article and you're basically calling out the sponsor, but you're not directly telling people to go and fucking email the sponsors. That's my take on it. Like, here's the thing. If you're going to try and get going after someone's bottom line, what JoeCat and what the other VTubers did, I think that's a good move. And that's a good way to calling to action, especially if it's VTubers who are a lot bigger than Kirsche that drops gamer subs entirely. Like, give you an example, if Iron Mouse or anyone, Silverveil, or anyone that's like any of the big VTubers all started dropping some gamer subs in their partnership with gamer subs because of Kirsche, you can bet your ass that a lot of people they'd be dropping Kirsche really quick.
Yeah, well, yeah, gamer subs would definitely, like, if it's taking that hit. But you also those people have to want to take that hit to their bottom line too.
Not to their bottom line too. But then again, you also have to remember, people like Iron Mouse and whatever, it's like they can take that fucking hit. It's like they're fucking massive in comparison.
True.
It's like these, like a lot of these people don't have to work ever again for another day in their life.
True.
And what about Vice actually just bending the knee to Kirsche? Okay. I'm like, of course they will. They don't care about these at the end of the day. They want to protect their bottom line. They are pandering and virtue signaling in increasingly
here's the thing
horrible environment.
Here's the thing too. This is something I actually had an interesting talk with someone I follow on Twitter, and they follow me back. They had their own opinion regarding the whole article with Kirsche. They do not like Kirsche, but they do not approve of the way Anna went about writing the article. I 100% agree with them on this as well, because the whole thing with, if the article was written by someone else, the situation wouldn't have been any different. Even if it was by a well-respected journalist who actually has credibility, and the article was written in a way that is actually bringing attention to this and is not written by another bad faith actor, the situation would have been any different. The fans would have reacted. Yeah, the fucking, like, they would have reacted the same way.
And here's the thing with that: when it comes to like Vice or things like that, their initial response to a cease and desist, which that's something we'll get into in a minute, because that's the thing that I hate. That's the worst thing that I think the dumb cartoon bitch did, was the cease and desist. But
how dare you call her a bitch? That's clearly what she is.
Oh no, but that's also something I can't get over, dude. Oh, cease and desist for defamation. It's like, oh my fucking.
The first thing that Vice is going to do, though, is take that article down, and they're going to have their lawyers.
Alyssa did it. Alyssa did it, but let's not get too much into it. I just find it funny. They're starting to get into the sue mode after crying so hard at the beginning of this GG2 bullshit. Lying, typically. Gamer girl, this person's trying to sue me. No, they're not. They did it to fucking that Park Place. And now that I went over that Park Place, I understand why they did it. But that's besides.
I mean, there's the whole thing with the whole her trying to like sue her and sue Vice and whatever. This is also something that I can't fucking stand, because these motherfuckers, they bitch about these companies doing the exact same thing to people they disagree with. Or fucking influencers or whatever. And yet these motherfuckers are like super fucking like trigger happy on the fucking court filings as well. So I even passed a joke on this. What are 5 Kirsche lawyers chained up at the bottom of the ocean? What do you call that?
I don't know. What do you call that?
A good fucking start.
God.
So this is what
I disavow everyone at home. It seems too close to violence, you know. It's a cartoon version. If it were me, that might change my opinion on that.
Hey. That's Kirsche literally said that fucking edgy joke as well that dates back from the fucking 90s, by the way. So I'm just using it against her. So I'm just using it against her at that point.
Okay. I understand the logic. I still have to disavow both of you. Okay, equally.
What are 5,000 lawyers at the bottom of the ocean, chained up at the bottom of the ocean? What do you call it? It's a good start.
No one likes lawyers, okay? No one's
nobody likes lawyers. That's the whole joke. That's the whole fucking
I know.
Joke. I kind of understand. Like when I understand.
You explained the humor behind that. Fair enough. Okay,
I got the content. Like honestly, when she said it the first time, I find it kind of gross. But then I kind of looked into the context of it. I was like, oh, okay, that's the whole context of it. So now I'm basically using the same joke against her, because let's be real. It's like, you want to bitch about people suing you for defamation, yet you're doing the exact same fucking thing when all they did was fucking provide clips of shit you actually said.
Yeah,
like,
that was
how
my
is
big
that
thing too.
defamation?
It's not. And defamation is like,
it's not. She wouldn't have gotten away with it. Okay, Alyssa has a hard enough of a shot against Smash JT, and I think she has a case.
And again, here's the thing: I do not like Alyssa. I think she is a dumb fucking bitch. The girl literally has me blocked on Twitter, by the way.
I think she's crazy as fuck.
I watched her video regarding the whole Smash JT thing, like her basically like showing receipts of all the harassment she's got. And yeah, she does have a case against him, like, because this guy has over 150 fucking hours worth of videos just talking about her and making shit up about her. And and I find it so funny that people are out here like mass flagging her video for harassment when there was no fucking harassment in it. Yet
there's harassment against her in it, but
yeah, there's harassment.
I have an opinion. I have an opinion on that. I don't think it was it was in part of the harassment policy, but in that harassment policy that she showed the picture on, if you can find it and bring it up, it specifically says personal information and stuff like that on there. And in the email area that she showed, it had the full email address and name of one of the guys that sent the email. If I think anything got it flagged, I think that's the reason.
But again, you also
someone still would have had to report for the privacy complaint.
Absolutely.
Someone would still have to report, but you also have to remember she has a target on her back at the moment. And Smash has this entire fucking little like hate brigade going against her. So obviously that little hate, that thing was mass reported into oblivion, and YouTube actually went over it and banned her over a little nothing burger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is it probably wasn't
out and blah blah blah.
But again,
it was.
You also have to remember.
Listen.
Yeah.
Good. So I agree with you that like it was brigaded, that they, that happened. But when she said she had her lawyers look at it, they probably looked at it as from a case basis where she didn't have it looked at from a YouTube basis, and YouTube takes that personal information shit very seriously. So that's why they, that one clip was what was brought up to him. But I guarantee you, she probably needs to. I'm surprised the second one didn't get taken down if she didn't go through it and scrub a lot of the email addresses and stuff. Like I agree that I think it, nothing in there was like harassment. It was just her showing the harassment she's receiving. But you have to be careful when making those videos because YouTube doesn't like to play around with certain things, and people's personal information is one of those things. And she has her own little brigade of people that do stuff as well. I mean, this is a back and forth thing that's been feeding both of them for a long time.
No, I will totally agree. It's acceleration. Okay. I think I brought it up to Smash, but let's get off of this. This thing is going to just perpetuate. It's a perpetual motion machine. One side will do one thing and the other side will react. It'll just keep accelerating until it just blows the fuck up. But
this is what I personally think to some extent, fucking YouTube and Twitch need another apocalypse to some extent.
Again, I don't want. I think I saw that take from you. I don't want people not involved with this getting hit because of dumb. Okay, that's the problem with what I have with it. I mean, I'm insane.
I understand I understand what you're saying, man. But let's be real, dude. The only way YouTube and Twitch will ever fucking change the way that they spawn.
Twitch is fucked. If Twitch has a bias towards fucking the leftist creators,
okay. I am going to correct you on that one. They don't have a bias to leftist wing creators. They have a bias to whoever the fuck gives them the most money and brings them in the most money.
Kirsche is just as much loved.
Yeah, that's the thing, and this is something I will not fucking sit for, because Kirsche wants to bitch that Twitch has a fucking favoritism problem when she is literally one of their golden girls. It's
she got a 1 day ban.
She got a 1 day ban for
reading.
I thought it was a 7 hour.
It was a 1 day ban. It was a 1 day ban for reading erotic fanfic out of spite on her stream.
Maybe she wanted the excuse. Maybe it was 4D chest, and she wanted to have that excuse.
If she wanted the excuse, dude, here's the problem with that. This was self-sabotage. She got banned for reading erotic fanfic, which again is against Twitch's TOS. So she brought that on herself. And this bitch had the golden opportunity to virtue signal about how Twitch plays favorites and goes after smaller or medium-sized streamer, while people like Hassan are allowed to stay on for sponsoring terrorists, even though Hassan got banned like 7 fucking times.
Yeah,
his entire career.
He should be banned more.
Yeah, no, he should have been banned permanently. He should have been banned permanently
Thank you for saying that. Okay, we're not going to do any whataboutism. Two things can be bad at the same time.
Yeah, like he should have been banned like a long time ago. But she had a golden opportunity to virtue signal about Twitch's fucking like unfair, like poor, like clearly biased, like enforcement of TOS.
Okay.
She put a virtue signal.
She made it all about her
herself. Exactly.
She made it all about her. A narcissist.
She made it all about herself.
There's been a time. Yeah, this is something.
And then you had
Gordon Peterson.
Then you have idiots like Shibi who basically went and says, "Oh, she got mass reported, and because of people who don't like her," when she read fucking erotic fanfic on her stream.
Well, you see how much of a bitch Chibi is. He was a joke years ago when he was just doing anime content. He was the biggest joke. I had that clip, my satirical take. I just put him in just so I could make fun of him in my top 10 list, just to make fun of him for being so small-minded.
I personally don't. Personally, when it comes to Shibi, like I never really. Like, I kind of like was very like indifferent to him, very neutral to him for the longest time until the whole Trump election. And when he started getting doxxed, I was willing to sympathize with him to a certain extent. But I couldn't. It's like now the more I listen, the more this guy runs his mouth, the more he fucking opens his mouth, the more I'm like, this guy, I cannot sympathize with him. Because he is such a fucking bitch. Like, he's not even a cry bully. He's just a fucking crybaby.
Yeah. They are assembling their chips and keeping them all around. Let's try to get a little bit more into this. War Daddy Gaming seems to have popped out and trying to get back on. Let's hope
it seems like it.
Let's play a bit of this to get back on topic.
Like fear and pressure culture that these people have been pushing for way over a decade. And the way that like the last hit piece was written and the way that some of these journalists are now circling the wagons on Blue Sky and on Twitter, they're tagging other journalists, they're tagging other publications, they're trying to close the ranks, and they're trying to make this another Gamergate scenario where they try to drive away fans.
What do you fucking know about Gamergate? I did research on Gamergate, okay? Why the fuck is she bringing up Gamergate? Has she done research on this?
I think she's going to tell us she did something in some Chan site somewhere, but I don't know how much that I actually believe.
Back it up, okay? It's like Grum's involved with Gamergate. No, he wasn't. He used Gamergate to push his fucking little activist organization that he's spent the Red 5 money, donate it from Red 5 instead of going to whatever sort of conference. Boycotted it, gave it money to organization. He was just using Gamergate in the beginning, and he's using it again. But let's not get off on that. Okay, but yeah, Gamergate is just
ends with wrong opinions still in gaming, but also in the VTubing quote unquote community. I don't believe there's a VTubing community. I've been very open about this many times. But this is what they're trying to do.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I don't believe it exists, but this is what they're trying to do. Why the fuck do you care about that then? This is like
she's just not accepted in the VTubing community.
No, like that's there's no VTubing community. There's no V. That is such a fucking idiotic statement because, bitch, the only reason why you don't think there's a VTubing community is because you're only accepted by people who are not accepted in the VTubing community. People like Rev, people like fucking Nuxtaku. People is probably like the only VTuber friend she has that is accepted in the VTubing community because people, to some extent, is actually fucking entertaining. And she's not a hack.
Well,
but that's the only reason why she's accepted in the VTubing. That's the only reason.
And Rev jumping on this sort of thing is just funny as hell. What happened to his lowly defense force bullshit from years ago? Is he trying not to alienate them?
What do you mean? What are you talking about, dude? He's still on the lowly defense force. He's always has been. That's never changed.
I know. I'm just like, how can he has these two sort of stances about some of this stuff?
Because this idiot doesn't stand for fucking anything. The only thing he stands for is his own goddamn self-interest. If Kirsche or Grum started becoming a liability to him, he'd throw them under the bus in a heartbeat.
Or cry. Maybe he'll get hit.
Oh,
who knows? They're cutting.
I think what happens. Yeah. I think what happens with like these particular people is they're not political commentators. But they use politics to push stuff. Where probably I don't know much about. Hey, damage sector. Oh damn, I forgot you.
Yeah, good man. Good man.
Damage.
So, but anyway, like these guys use politics to push their content, and that's how they make money. Where I would guess, because I don't watch the greater, I don't watch YouTubers at all. I think it's kind of weird.
You're a VTube simp. I get out. I have to kick you out now if you're a VTube simp.
I said I don't like them. Did you get those ears cleaned up? No. But anyway, I think they just do their VTuber stuff, right? They just they're not generally like looking up politics. They're looking up dumb YouTube videos to watch, or
and they're translating into their normie audience, and they're definitely
or whatever the case is for Rev, whatever hot drama is of the day, or whatever fucking game he can get outrage ever since fucking GG2 started. Because here's the thing with Rev. Yeah, okay.
Go ahead.
No, because the thing with Rev is that Bro was never that big into the anti-woke scene until GG2 started. Like, he was never that big on it. He was actually one of those type of people who says if you use the word woke, it's cringe. And ever since Gate 2 started, that completely changed.
I only ever noticed him through like Asmon stuff, and I feel like that's where he got propped up.
But that's where he did. That's where he really started blowing up. Like, here's the thing with Asmongold: most of these idiots who people still somehow take seriously for whatever fucking reason are propped by Asmongold. That's always the case. Because
how dare you talk about Nura Rays? Word Daddy Gaming, defend your queen.
Nere? Wait, which one's Nere? Yeah. I'm sorry.
Defend your queen.
Was Nere Asmongold? I thought she was propped up by it
was Asmongold. Okay, then a lot of the anti-woke people jumped on that bandwagon. That's how it goes. Happened. This is how I think Grums jumped on this. Kirsche was being ignored by a lot of the anti-woke channels because she was going after Dev and Archcast and that whole sort of coalition. They sort of pressed her aside with her bridge stuff. But now that she's doing this shit, now that she's really getting the Asmongold seal of approval, they're all on her ass. It's interesting. It's interesting where they focus this. Asmongold,
but there's been like, all right, I'll give it like
Asmongold also is the reason Grums is skating on this Ember stuff so well in the anti-woke. He gave the seal of approval. I don't think this is a scam. Very few people remember that.
Yeah, and again, it is. Here's the thing as well. We also have to remember people who don't actually pay attention to the whole fucking like Gamergate shit and Grum's antics, like, aren't familiar with who this guy is. But people who actually, but I'll be honest with you, with all the videos that have come out about Grums, like McDizzle's videos, Upper Echelon, Grums has so many people actually documenting his bullshit now that it's kind of hard to ignore it.
Yeah, but then it gets ruined by
most people are aware
leftists going after them. Okay, they make this whole narrative about the leftists going after them, the airbag army, legion of airbagged. I mean, I think he's super edgy and a fucking idiot leftist sometimes.
And that's also something else, like airbag. I was had this discussion with a mutual who Shibi was basically getting butthurt because Airbag like did some edgy fucking post. And if I'm going to take a wild guess, it was probably an Airbag impersonator at that, not even Airbag himself.
Yeah, there's just so many of them now. Okay,
Yeah,
and even
many of them,
woke, anti-woke people.
And my friend, my offer mutual, was saying that Airbag is also technically an alleged pedophile or whatever. And
there's actually no proof of that.
And I was looking at that like, okay, do you have fucking proof? Like, I know he was like arrested for batteries or whatever against an officer. But
we aren't here. We aren't here. Sorry, man.
We are all ass.
We are all
we are all agbagged.
We are all airbagged.
I'm willing to talk to the guy. I think I know who he is, but
and that's the
I know
thing
which one is really him.
And
I like to know who's who.
And I was looking at him like, you're making, and he was just basically going off of base, making this claim, a stupid claim, because this fucking obvious impersonator account of Airbag was actually like clowning on Shibi. And he was saying that he's a pedophile. I'm like, do you have proof? I mean, I saw it in a post somewhere, and that's all and I remember that. I'm like, well, can you show me some evidence? Oh, I can, because the posts are taken down and the account has been deleted. It's like, then why are you making these bold allegations if the only thing you're going off of is your memory?
The illusionary truth effect. It'll get us. It even gets me sometimes. I'll misremember.
And again, if he actually does watch this,
Brandon, enough people. The gaslighting's real, guys. Okay.
If he actually does ever watch this, Brandon, this is not a jab at you. Like, not at all. But just, if you're going to make claims like this, at least have proof to back it up. Like, that's all I'm saying. I'm not attacking you for this. I think that's post regarding Shibi, whoever the fuck this account was fucking stupid. But let's
get back on track with this video,
please.
You're playing. I'm going to step away from the mic real quick.
Okay, let's get back into this. And
they're not entirely, like, they are going after me and they're trying to ruin my life because they don't want me to have a platform. But the goal is to get rid of you. The goal is to do the same thing to people who want to be here and want to enjoy VTubers. What they did with the whole "gamers are over" campaigns, like
she's bringing up all this old stuff that's over 10 years old.
But not just
hold on. This is more my ballpark. Okay, her sort of bringing up this instinctually memory. Did she even talk about this before she started getting on the out and out? I mean, she's definitely getting into this sort of alt-right. She's definitely catering to this alt-right sort of thing. I know that for sure with the Synthetic Man. I know that there's a concerted effort from Synthetic Man's fan base to get these two together. Some of them hate her because she's not based enough and crap like that. But this crap here, no, they're going for you. They're gamers, VTubers, whatever the fuck. They're not the ones they're going after. Why are you trying to make it like this? Grums does the same thing, like going after Grums. Grums isn't much of a gamer at the end of the day. Who the fuck? Why are they so egotistical? They came on this scene very recently. I didn't know about it. Grums, any of these motherfuckers, all the old school people. She shot on, as I said, 9 months ago, I did a video when she pretty much said, yeah, I know more about this anti-woke stuff, and he should have credited me because I discovered Bridge. Such bullshit. Sorry, Simon. Go on with what you were going on with.
Like, honestly, the whole part of like, oh, they're trying to cancel the VTubers. They're trying to go after people. Like, here's the thing.
Well,
people aren't going after. If she's talking about her viewers, like people going after her viewers or her followers or whatever. No, you fucking idiot. They're going after you because you're a fucking dipshit. You don't fuck. You are a bad fucking actor, and they're calling you out on it. Like, nobody cares about your followers. Like, nobody, like, people, your followers. Nobody gives a fuck about them. Like, nobody.
Yeah, who went after? I don't know who. I'm not in the VTuber scene. I guess there's some drama with Pikamine, with the sort of Hogwarts Legacy. I think.
Like, the whole.
But even Hassan was bullied over that.
Like,
Hassan was like.
I don't follow the VTuber scene enough to know that there's drama, but most of the time whenever there is drama in the VTuber scene, it's either regarding Kirsche, it's either regarding Rev, it's either regarding Nuxtaku. Like, or some obscure fucking small ass VTuber that nobody really knows about that's already kind of controversial to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, most people in the VTuber scene don't follow the controversial VTubers because they're not worth it. They're not worth it.
And a lot of the VTubers seem weird, and they come into it weird. Nuxtaku did the anime stuff for a while and got into VTubing and got big with that crap. And you have Rev, who did the sort of alternative path also. I find it sort of funny that all her friends don't originally come from VTubing. That much I know. They come from the anime community, something I do know a lot about.
They come from the anime community, and a lot of the time they're not even like hardcore anime enjoyers. Like, that's something I can give credit to Shibi to that I cannot give to people like Red. Because at least
Shibi's still a bitch. Okay. He's always been a bitch.
Yeah, Shibi is a bitch, but at least he knows what the fuck he's talking about with anime. So that's something I can give him.
These people don't even care about anime, so that's funny.
Most people,
some of these VTubers do.
Most people who follow Shibi are either fucking hate watching or just trolling him at that point. Most people
I can imagine
that. People nowadays don't even care about his anime takes anymore, and that's one thing. I find it Shibi's case just sad in general because he is clearly a passionate weeb and he loves anime. Yet he got himself into all this fucking drama. Because he's
get some views, okay? He's also hooking up with Tectone and all the other anti-establishment motherfuckers.
Well, and that's funny too.
They're doing the coalition.
That's funny too because apparently he's getting up with Tectone and whatever. That's funny as fuck too because fucking Tectone and Rev hate each other, even though they were following each other. They were following each other for a while. I didn't know they had a falling out. So when I made a post regarding Tectone, I had no idea regarding Rev and Tectone, which I got blasted for, by the way.
Yeah,
I didn't know. I didn't even know they were still technically. they were.
Well, I think if I remember correctly, Tectone went after a certain Genshin Impact person and he went with the whole you're into this lolly stuff. He went at
and Rev is a hard defender of that, and that's what caused the falling out. That's always what causes the falling out with Rev. It's when you go after the lolly bullshit.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Fair game, I guess. That was funny. God.
I personally I'll be honest with you. Like, when it comes to a whole lolly crap, I don't really give a fuck about it. It's like, enjoy whatever the fuck you want. Just don't fucking be a creep about it. And that's it.
Yeah, I try to stay out of the lolly wars. I dip my hand in it. It's definitely a red flag if you say you want to fuck an anime character. I get the humor in it. You can't really fuck an anime character, but it comes off as creepy as all hell.
I just don't care about it, man. I just see it as like any other fucking like weird ass fucking kink on the internet. It's like no, like seriously, it's like who cares?
Oh, kink. Let's not get too deep.
We'll stay
out of lolly stuff. I have some.
Let's not get too deep into that because honestly, I'm probably going to get some flack from a lot of people in the chats who see this. Even though I'll be honest, with you,
Tectone's father did what? Are you trying to get us to talk about his allegedly he was a rapist?
You mean his convicted?
No. What do you mean allegedly? He was convicted. His dad is a rapist. What are you talking? We don't need to put the allegedly in here. He's convicted.
Okay. I haven't seen personal proof of it.
If we're going,
it was in Congress.
If we're going to talk about sexual assault allegations, then we have to say allegedly, because there's no confirmation for that.
Yeah,
it's all alleged.
I think it's funny to say allegedly because I haven't actually seen the evidence of it. If I haven't seen evidence,
they went over it in Congress during a whole thing talking about the sexual assault problem in the military. So his dad is
and his dad actually served jail time. He served 3 fucking months in jail for raping 15 women.
Well, he didn't rape.
Wow.
Them. Let's be
sexual assaulted them. It's
sexually assaulting and
same
things
thing,
like that.
dude.
Like no. What it had to do with? All right, I'm going to go a little bit on the defense here for him. It had more to do with the way he didn't sexually assault someone in the sense of like, well, he may have done some stuff, but a big portion of it was he was handsy with people around him. So he was probably patting bottoms and stuff like that. And then he probably pushed into the bigger thing. But I don't think there was anything that was actual full on.
Well, that's
rape.
the thing. That's the thing. That's something that we'll probably never know, because unless one of his actual victims comes out and confirms it.
Yeah.
Which, let's be real, they're not going to do that, because that's fucking. First of all, why would they want to fucking like say that to the public? It's already hard enough as it is to just live with it. So,
yeah.
So. Anyways, so what's
okay? Let's get recentered. Let's get recentered on this stuff. Let's get recentered by a little bit. We'll probably go off on a tangent. We'll probably get on a tangent.
Games don't need gamers anymore. Gamers are done.
Hey, also blame Chat G Coops for it.
Yeah, he's derailing us.
Troll friend of mine.
Gamers are bigots, and they're the players of the past. We're setting the ground for the new audience. They're literally trying to colonize VTubing. Yeah, and this is why I said, like, I've been
colonize VTubing. They're even using leftist language. I reject this. That's all the serves bringing up. Colonization argument.
Colonize. Yeah, I'm listening to that. It's like, bro, how the fuck is this any fucking different?
She's probably trying to use it ironically, to be fair to her. I'll try to be fair to her here.
Whatever, but
I shouldn't.
But it's like also setting the grounds for a new scene, like, of entertainment. What the fuck are you even, like that's what I'm looking at. What are you fucking saying, man? What the fuck?
Like, there's no standards. They literally have no standards. So I don't know why they're trying to do this. Okay. They literally have no standards.
It's like they're out here saying, like, we're setting the grounds for a new set of entertainment. I find it so fucking funny that they say this type of shit, because you literally have a bunch of fucking actual indie artists, indie creatives, like, who are trying to better the fucking entertainment industry through their work. Yet these idiots never fucking talk about that. They just want to bitch about the legacy IPs and whatever, and media is dead because it makes them a bunch of money. Because if they actually started promoting people who actually give a fuck about their craft, who give a fuck about the industry, they'd be out of a fucking job.
Yeah. I can't disagree with that. I mean, the only reason I don't go after Eric July like some people do, well, also that's comics, and that's not really. I think at least he's doing something, even if people say it's crap. I stay out of that, but at least he's trying to do something.
I've seen people talk about Eric July. Here's my issue with Eric July. Like, this is what another thing that I can't stand. It's influencer fucking comics. Because the reality is with Eric July and Flash, because I particularly Yellow Flash, I've been following some of the stuff regarding his comic. Motherfucker is close to a 500,000 sub channel or something. And Warhawk disconnected again. Lovely.
Okay. We'll see if he pops back up.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe we'll see how long we'll go.
Point is, it's like the whole thing with Yellow Flash in particular, that whole thing pisses me the fuck off, because the guy is like a 500,000 YouTube sub channel. He's working on his own comic. Motherfucker.
Well, he's also giving other people work. He's giving other people work.
He's not even paying his artist. His artist owns 40% of the comic.
Okay.
So, and when you say
let's not get too derailed, but I'm saying I think he's someone who's actually pushing for something.
But
there's a lot of problems with this. I agree.
Pushing for something, but he doesn't. I'm pretty sure, for starters, he didn't write the own fucking script for his story. That's something that was either fucking like from his artist is the one taking care of the script, or he hired a ghostwriter for it, for starters. Because it's very easy to hire ghostwriters on Fiverr nowadays for very cheap. But what
probably let's not go with rumors, but yeah, he probably did get some help. He probably
but his artist thing, that's not a rumor. His artist even said that he's not paid for it. He owns 40% of the comics, and his payout is that comic doing well, which at the moment it isn't. which is something that royally pisses me off.
Is this Flash or Eric July? Okay.
Flash. That's
Flash.
Flash. Flash. It's Flash.
Okay. I don't know anything about Flash. Okay.
But
supposedly I sound like him, which I take as an insult, but
funny
I don't
enough,
hear it.
You kind of do, but not as much. You're not as
fucking
annoying.
hell.
You're not as annoying as him now that you mention it.
I would disagree.
Okay.
No.
Let's get back on this. Okay. Back on the video to get back on track.
The canary in the coal mine this entire time. And there are some people that would rather denigrate me and pretend it's not happening because they just want to enjoy their waifu. I get it, bro. I don't.
But you're also baiting them extremely. You're catering to this is why I believe she got banned on purpose. She probably did do that on purpose so she can be like, look, Twitch banned me, making it all about her.
It's the same exact shit. Yeah.
And
it's the same exact shit that the porn baiters do all the time. They push the limits of TOS. They know she knew she was only going to get a day. She knew that they're not going to ban her very long, at most, a couple of days for it. So, because I mean, you see this stuff all the time where they push TOS as far as they can, and then they get banned for maybe a day or two. Hers is the exact same thing. She knows what she can do, and then now that she's in the limelight because of this previous drama with the Vice article, she can just use that to make it seem like, she's
building a narrative of her own. This is complete bullshit. She's bringing in all this Gamergate stuff.
So I just want to say something.
We don't know
regarding something like one of the chatters just said, tiered Komoji, whatever your name is. Eric July is a massive fence sitter. He's also somebody who doesn't actually fucking write anything. That's actually
probably tells other people what to write.
No, not even, dude. Like with Eric July, it's actually confirmed that he hires ghostwriters to do his shit.
Okay.
Jesus.
We're not really on that, so I won't.
Yeah, whatever. But that's just something I want to address one of the commenters by. That's about it.
Fair enough. They brought it up.
Can you back it up a bit? She said something that I wanted to comment on.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
I don't want you to pretend to hear villainized VTubing. Yeah, and this is why I said I've been the canary in the coal mine this entire time, and there are some people that would rather denigrate me and pretend it's not happening because they just want to enjoy their waifu. I get it, bro. I don't want you to have to be involved in politics, but if I'm trying to make sure that everyone can still enjoy everything instead of it being some weird ass hug.
That had to have covered what you wanted to cover.
Yeah,
we went a little bit further.
Yeah,
she's making an excuse to get into politics. She's we're getting into politics. They're forcing me. Go on.
That's the thing with Kirsche. Fuck, it was something you said. Fuck, I'm trying to actually phrase my word because now I got lost so much in the sauce with this. But
it happens a lot.
God fucking damn it! I lost what I was about to say, but it had to do with the fact that she was banned. Whatever. Fuck, I just lost my train of thought.
You see the fucking language with her.
She's a baiter. She's a master baiter. Okay, obviously,
100%. Well,
Kirsche the
biggest most of her fan base
that I've come across, and yes, her fan base really accentuates this. When I did my video on her, then I did a stream afterwards. That was quite a clusterfuck. I found it funny arguing with people in the comment section and on my video, on her video. I'm like, this is total bullshit. And you get these responses. I mean, if I were to go back to it, might have trouble with that.
She's absolutely making herself a martyr. Like her very language is, I'm the canary in the coal mines. I'm the one that's doing this. I'm the one that's out here making sure that everyone can have the same thing. When most of these,
being the hero, she's playing up the hero narrative. Okay, she's the one protecting the VTubers and the gamers all at the same time.
Well, that's the thing. It's like what. And again, this is something that actually annoys me, like the ever living fuck out of them, of people like Kirsche. It's like you're saying you don't want to get into politics, whatever. It's like, come on, like you cover this more than you cover anything else. Like your whole fucking personality is built around the culture war. whether it's politics, whether it's gaming, whether it's entertainment in general.
But she was forced into it. They came for her. They came for other
Here's
VTubers.
the thing.
Yeah.
Nobody came for Iron Mouse. Nobody came for fucking any other fucking like VTuber out there. The only ones that got any semblance of fucking drama
Pika-Me.
and they made it was
Remember,
Pika-Me,
and they won all
Silverhail,
that against-
and that was around a stupid fucking drama that even a lot of the fucking leftists were not on board with.
Politics held her hostage. That's right.
No, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, they want to say, "Oh, these people came after me. That's why I'm fucking like talking about politics." It's like nobody came after you, bitch. This is all self-inflicted.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you don't want, and again, this is another thing that also annoys me, is because they know if they try to actually be entertaining, if they go to playing video games or covering other fucking like subjects that don't have to do with fucking culture war nonsense, they'll lose a good chunk of their followers because they know that's not what their followers signed up for. They signed up to be outraged. They're well aware of this. The outrage economy is a hell of a thing. And people like Kirsche, like Rev, are aware of this. This is why they either double down or fucking backpedal whenever they don't have anything else to go with. Like, this is also, with Rev in particular, he was fucking hard on AC Shadow before and after it came out. But when the numbers started saying something completely different, he backpedaled. He did a complete 180 on the thing and said, "No, I never said that. I never said that the game was going to be a massive failure. I said that it was going to I said that it was not going to save Ubisoft from a potential buyout or whatever, and then their stocks were going to go under."
Well, no shit. That looked like the deal was in the works for months. Most people who were in the know knew, like, yeah, we knew this. Okay, this was in the works for a while. Why are people trying to pivot to this shit?
And this is the part that annoys me too. It's because even they, to some extent, even say it. They were aware of this, that Ubisoft was already in the shitter. No shit. They were already in the shitter, but why are you putting this on this one game? Because it's a fucking grift.
What about the sort of Kingdom Come Deliverance Rev got to do if you
want
to get into
that actually made an entire video on. That was so fucking hilarious, and it just showed how much of a bitch and a crybaby this guy is.
Fair enough. We're probably coming to the end in the next half hour. If you want to pop in, you got the link, Romeo. But yeah, this is the Kirsche fan that I tried to get. But
I think in the VTuber community, when it comes to Kirsche and Rev, is this is the only way they can stand out, right? There's already, like, you can say that
it's oversaturated. I agree. It's oversaturated.
So the only way you can stand out if you're not interesting, if you're not the Iron Mouse, if you're not some of the other ones that have already built out a big audience, is to push into the culture war because it's built an audience.
And not just that, and
she's going to have to double down. She's going to have to go deeper down her little foxhole to keep being relevant.
They're also aware that being actual fucking creative requires talent for that as well, which neither of these two have. Like, let's not kid ourselves. Like, Yellow Flash and Eric July, as much as I think that they're fucking hacks in the creative scene, like, at least they're trying to get into it, even though they're complete and utter frauds and don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and they're just bad. But
evidence for that. Evidence for that, man. I need evidence. Okay, what's your evidence for that?
For Eric July, I've already told you, he hires ghostwriters.
Okay.
For starters.
Okay.
And for fucking Yellow Flash, he doesn't pay his artists, even though he's a massive fucking YouTuber that doesn't actually.
Well, he could be like Grums and have a massive lien against him. We don't know. We don't know.
A lien? What do you mean a lien?
You don't know about the Grums lore? He has a freaking a tax lien, like 2 of them.
No, but
I'll go for this with Grums.
With Yellow Flash, whatever. Point being, it's like at least with like people like Flash and Eric July, at least they're trying to kind of like break into the fucking creative scene, even though, let's be real, they're not that good at it to begin with. But with Kirsche and
Probably
like
not.
people like Rev, it's like, forget it, man. These guys, they don't have a fucking single creative bone in their body. That's why they're fucking VTubers and they cover drama. They're not entertaining and they're not creative. So that's the only thing they can resort to, man. Or else it'd be fucking flipping burgers or going in construction like Rev used to do.
Oh God, yeah. Well, they found their niche. I guess the Lolly Defense Force wasn't working out for Rev, so he had to pivot to the fucking anti-woke grift, so to speak.
Oh, but you know what's
the beauty?
But at the end of the day, you know what's the beauty of all this is that this gets now. Ever since they pivoted to the anti-woke grift, like people like Kirsche and Rev, it just means that they alienated a lot of their former viewers that actually used to watch them for more of the anime stuff or the petty drama shit. Because I'll be honest with you, I used to be a Rev viewer. I used to watch him mostly for his petty drama shit. But when he started getting into the culture war shit, it's like that's when I started tuning out and started realizing how much of a fucking fraud this guy is.
Yeah, I saw it before. Okay, he was one of the few back when the Noralities stuff, the leftists who came against, he barely said anything. Hell, even just a robot had a better video on it. It was still dog shit. Mine's the best. Cause you suck it, motherfucker. Sorry, side tangent there. But let's get reoriented again. She has to get into politics, obviously, because she has no other choice. She has no other talent. She can't just play a game. And I do know synthetic, because I follow the synthetic cells, and maybe there could be a fun video from one of my former associates in there.
The box that your Oshi will also probably get attacked for at some point, because these people never stop purity spiraling. It's not going to stop with me. If they get me out of the way, they're going to go after Alana. They're going to go after Leaflet. They're going to go after Pippa. They're going to go after all of these people that they perceive are too edgy, are too extreme, are too...
Just
could you virtue signal
any fucking more, please? Like too edgy, Like, do you even listen to the shit Leaflet says? Like, the girl's not even fucking edgy. She's boring, and she's actually like the shit she says isn't any better than her. It's like when I listen to people like Leaflet, it's like discount fucking Kirsche. It's discount fucking Kirsche. I've listened to stuff.
Also, I think that one woman who the leftist went after, the banana girl with the sort of white avatar with the dreads, she got a lot of press off of that.
And I honestly, I don't know what the fuck that girl's deal is. I don't care enough. I don't think.
Yeah, they shouldn't have gone after her just for her hairstyle. She deserved it.
Like that's one instance of like lefties being fucking cringe as all fucking hell. Oh look, braids, cultural appropriation. Ugh. And this is why I hate it so much, is because again, when I see the left doing it, it's like, you guys are fucking stupid. Please just stop. Because all you're doing is giving these morons on the right ammunition to do the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Worse. You taking the normal people, or maybe the slightly left-leaning people, and you just throwing them against the fucking wall. And that's fucking insane as all hell.
Well, the left is pretty much like the whole woke movement is pretty much dead at this point. There's a few outlanders who will come out.
They're trying to pivot. Anyone who's paying attention, they're pivoting.
Oh no, a lot of people who are quote unquote in the woke movement are trying to pivot, or they are pushing back and trying to like associate more of the people who are actually not, more so somewhere in between.
Or
they're either going more extreme or they're trying to become apolitical, like Smash is trying to do. I don't know how he can do that.
Smash is
down his rabbit hole.
Like Smash, honestly, like him going apolitical, I don't see it happening, dude. Like this guy is, once his fucking situation with Alyssa Mercante is finished, I don't think he'll even have a platform to come back to at this point.
Well, no one listens to him for anything else.
Well, nobody listens to him for anything else. Like that's another thing that I was actually listening to regarding the anti-woke, like the anti-wokes in general. Because the whole fucking deal is that the woke movement is pretty much dead at this point. They can't really go after people for being woke anymore because the whole thing is dying out.
They can use 10-year-old tweets to try to paint them as
that's the
woke.
thing. That's the thing. Now they've gone into the stage where they're cannibalizing themselves.
Yeah, it's beautiful in some ways, but I will say, as much as I find JDA to be a total lying bitch ass motherfucker, at least he has principles. They're horrible principles. The whole religious movement, but he has principles. And Smash doesn't even have that. I think they're going to lose out to that. They're eating their own.
And that's the thing too. Like a lot of these anti-woke grifters, like people like Kirsche and Rev, they don't have any principles. They just pivot whatever the fuck like is best for them in the moment. And eventually people catch on to that. People catch on to that, and eventually they start pointing it out and saying, dude, what the fuck? You weren't saying this like 2 years ago. What the fuck changed?
They're like the lockdown changed, society changed.
They don't even have their own fucking head. Like they can't even stick to their own guns. And that's the thing that pisses people off more than anything else, is when you are a hypocrite and you are so fucking fake. Like people
they have the whole Hassan sort of crap to deflect to now. Okay, this is why Asmongold is their man.
Hey. As much as Hassan is a piece of shit that needs to get the fuck off the internet and like permanently get removed from the internet. Like at least he sticks to his guns.
Yeah, even though his guns,
even though he's a complete and utter moron.
Yes,
at least he has principles, even though his principles are questionable at best. But Kirsche,
just like JDA.
Yeah. So that's something I can respect more to some extent, even though it's like, he's still fucking shit. I have more respect for people who actually stick to what they believe in.
I think I have more respect, but I think they're more dangerous at the end of the day. Okay.
Yeah,
people who
because
have those principles.
Because they actually know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, what they're doing is terrible, but yeah, they do have principles, and I think Assad is probably he's fighting with Ethan. But let's get back on track with this, and I want to end up with just a random video from an old friend of mine.
Over the line. It's not going to stop with me. So your hatred of me, even if you dislike the things that I say, I've been trying to prevent this. They're going after
prevent what?
Like Trump. They're after us.
What have you been? Sorry, that I haven't watched this whole video. What are you trying to prevent? Okay, I'll let her.
Wow.
Oh. Does she finish up with this?
You're just in the way. You're not welcome in the VTuber community, bitch. You are all the tourists in this community. Stay in your own lanes.
That's it. What is she trying to prevent? She's been trying to be like, I'm doing this bridge stuff. Guys, look at me. Notice me, senpai vibe with the fucking bridge stuff. She even went after upper echelon with that shit. And upper echelon
shot her down.
I just find that funny. Okay. All these motherfuckers.
Well, and that's the thing. Here's the thing, dude. If you're actually going to go after upper echelon, man, you better have an actual
upper echelon does not help himself. Okay. I'll admit that.
No, like, here's the thing. Like, the only thing I've ever seen about upper echelon that made me really fucking cringe was his fucking Doom critic. That's the only thing that I ever found cringe about him and his reaction to it. But overall, if you're going to attack upper echelon, man, like, good fucking luck, man. You better if you don't have a fucking brain, man's going to tear you a fucking new one.
No, he's gonna ignore. He ignored her. He ignored a lot of the motherfuckers.
He ignored. Yeah, again, that's another thing. And the only time he's ever actually going to talk about someone directly is if they really fucking annoy him,
like Grums.
Like Grums. Yeah, but here's the thing: Grums annoyed a lot of people, and Grums was easy. He keeps
on doing it.
Yeah, Grums is easy picking because he has a documented history as well. But for people like Kirsche, it's like you kind of have to do a little bit of digging for that, and she's not well documented.
I think that's going to start to change.
Oh no, a lot of it is already starting to change, dude. Like when it comes to Kirsche, there's a lot of people documenting her now. Bint is a good example of that. And same goes for Red.
And is a little off.
Same goes for Red, man. There's a lot more people documenting him. I'm one of them.
Yeah, there's also I know people who documented him when he was doing his Lolly Defense Force stuff.
No, I know people who fucking documented him when he was doing his little fucking anime meme shit. He wasn't popular in the anime in that scene either. He was plagiarizing other people's memes without crediting them for it. And he got called out by those smaller channels when he was still a small channel as well.
Well, I don't know the deep lore on Red.
I don't know the full story of it, but I've seen some instances of it, and it's like there's more to this guy than what I probably uncovered on him. But I really can't fucking stand this motherfucker.
Oh, I can understand. I know plenty of people who hate him for plenty of different reasons at the end of the day. And I can't really deny any of it.
Yeah,
I can't really deny anything.
Because you don't follow him. You're not into you don't follow his shit. Like most people.
No, he's always been fucking irrelevant to me. Too boring to really care about. Just another one of these. I followed Hero Hey for a bit, real quick. Even he's doing this little weird stuff.
No, but Hero Hey, there's a whole fucking deal with like, there's this whole joke that was going on for a while saying that Hero Hey and Rev might actually be the same person because they're so fucking like copy paste. It's not even funny.
I don't know Hero Hey, but Rev.
Well, he's gone woke before. He was going woke for a while. Now he's going anti-woke. He's all over the place. Yeah, let's not get too deep into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're coming to a close, but let's have a little bit of fun because I found this from a former associate. And a waifu. Let me pop this
defensive or sensitive because the fans can be a bit crazy.
Oh God.
Boy, has some controversy and the ironic thing about it is that she's Jewish. Even though he doesn't like Jews, but Synthetic Man want that golden rain. Oh yeah, baby. Synthetic Man in that silver. No Jew brainwashing.
God.
Wait.
This is someone I knew from back in the day. I don't talk to her much nowadays. She's that Synthetic Man fan bases are obsessed with Kirsche right now. They're trying to either get them together or drive them apart. It's some weird stuff.
I mean, what's the whole fucking deal? Because all I know is that according to Kirsche, she was one of her mods, but she came in as one of their mods as a joke or whatever. But it's so fucking stupid because if she associates with Synthetic Man, then
he knows what she's doing with that. That's another one of the bait. I think that's more of a baiting tactic. I think me and Wargaming Daddy.
Because let's be real, like it's kind of stupid that if again bait and tactic, like dude, that alone is enough to put a fucking target on her back. Because here's the thing with Synthetic Man, he is a bona fide.
Fan base is insane.
Yeah, but he's also a bona fide Nazi by his own admission.
Yeah,
technically.
Yeah, my run-in with Synthetic Man was, for the first time, was his Fallout takes, which he pretty much got blasted for by everybody. Where the
like, I think I know where his pivot happened. It was with the original Doom Infinite. He didn't like Doom Infinite, I think.
Here's the thing,
and he got blasted for that years ago.
I didn't know who Synthetic Man was until like mostly this Kirsche thing started popping up. But then I started actually listening to people who are more familiar with him that actually kind of mention him briefly, who actually like from Fritanga's fan base, who actually do say that this guy is a fucking neo-Nazi. He is.
He's pretty close. Okay, he comes off pretty fucking close.
Yeah, it's to a point where even if the fucking like people who are from Fritanga's fan base were very hard, like right-leaning individuals are like saying, "Yeah, I know this guy's a fucking degenerate, like a nut job." It's like, yeah, like you kind of have to say that's the case. Because no diss to Fritanga. I'm actually in love with the hell he does. And I do actually agree with all the shit he says, but he is very well right leaning, and his viewers are also as well, but they're not fucking like crazy.
Yeah, he was one of the people who was standing Starfield for a while because he's like, "What? I don't care about this shit. I like the game." He probably got shit for that.
Oh no, he did, dude. He actually made a fucking video on Endymion, which I actually was kind of the reason I kind of spearheaded that for him on one of my alt accounts.
Demion's just a dumb fuck. Okay,
yeah,
I don't like using such a low hanging fruit guy like him.
Like he was already on Endymion's case during that time, but then I remember I posted something like commenting on Endymion, and it was like basically me saying that his game, like not even a minute into his video, he was already calling Starfield like the worst Bethesda game ever made, and I was like, "Hello, Fallout 76."
Yep,
that was a Endymion responded.
It still is.
Endymion responded to me to that, and it's like, I was like, "Bro, you didn't play fucking Starfield, did you? You didn't play any of these games." And this is when fucking like Fratanga and a bunch of other people started blasting him for it.
As they should.
No, and Endymion's a fucking moron, dude. Like he's like,
oh god,
such an idiot.
Put this away. I'm putting this away. Okay, old friend. I had the great race SWAT debate with her. It's good to see she's still out there simping for Synthetic Man.
Oh, what?
Not really.
Not really. Wait, what?
I don't fucking know with her. I don't talk to her much anymore. She's amusing. Crazy girl in a crazy world. I'd like to talk with people who disagree with me. Too bad you guys don't we disagree more in our perspective of like why we think Kirsche is a fucking dumb bitch of infinite portion. We disagree on that. This is why I wish Romeo would have came on. I don't think he could have denied some of this stuff, so maybe that wouldn't have been fair.
But it also doesn't help. Like, now don't want to like diss the guy either, but it's kind of like it would also have been like kind of a 3-on-1 type of situation, so it wouldn't have been fair to begin with.
I mean, I don't even know how to steel man what Kirsche is doing. You can see her as just being a dumb fuck who's doing baiting, or you could see her as she doesn't know what she's getting into, playing with fire with all these edgy jokes.
Can I be honest with you? I see it as a mix of like three things. Because here's my take on it. I don't think she's a Nazi. I don't think she's a white supremacist. Far from it.
Either.
Do I think she's a bigot and a racist? Bigot 100%. Racist? I'd have to see more proof of that at the moment. But she's 100%. She has a lot
Well, it's easy to be a bigot, and she's definitely intolerant.
She is a bigot. She's 100% a bigot, that's for sure.
She can't be a bigot. Women can't think for themselves.
Fair enough. Women get the women pass. They can't.
I don't like using I don't like calling those things out because I generally don't think.
I mean that's
neither do I,
dude. That's an edgy fucking daddy joke. It's like I personally don't really give a fuck about that type of joke. Like, women don't have opinions. They don't have original thoughts.
Yeah,
like, it's whatever.
Get in the kitchen, make a sandwich. I've made jokes like that before.
But
some people would consider me bigot.
No, but it's like I don't really like. I think she's 100% like bigoted. That's for damn sure.
Well, it's easy to be a bigot. You have to be intolerant of other people's views. I'm critical against fucking the people in the trans movement, mainly the actual activists. A lot of trans people are cool as fuck. Okay,
no, that's the thing. That's also
activist territory. Those people get really weird with this.
Because here's the thing, dude. I actually am friends with like a couple of trans individuals. Like Nyara, I would call her like one of those who is not an activist. She's actually really passionate. And the reason why I listen to her is because she actually brings fucking like research articles and actual fucking testimonies. Well, she actually does her homework and she knows what the fuck she's talking about. So that's kind of why I listen to her. And
can you bring up decisive? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish your segment.
Then the fact that I also have my editor who edits my book is also trans. So it's like I don't really care. Like, and she's very like middle of the road as well. She tends to have lean in between right and left, kind of like I do. So it's like it's interesting.
Let's get to this comment. I get where you're going with this, but we have something a little bit critical. Not really a Kirsche fan, but I do think that Crime Boss should have either not teamed up with her at all or stuck to their guns have heard. She helped them bug test, get new members, etc. Like, if someone helps you out, you don't just turn on them. Like, they were going to make her a playable character, but suddenly, nope, you're gone.
So
I can
knew
see
more
that
about
perspective. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't know enough about that. Okay.
Like,
she
it
could also
could,
be
to me-
blowing a bunch of smoke up people's asses.
Yeah.
But
Do we-
this is also the thing I like heard about Crime Boss. It wasn't even that good of a game. It already wasn't doing well, even with her boosting it and other people.
Yeah, I looked at its.
boosting it.
I looked at its the most based statistic. It's Steam DB, and it wasn't doing really well. But here's my thing with that. They may have started, like, when it comes to companies, I disagree with Decisive Decoder on this. Like, they could have not really paid enough like, a lot of these companies don't pay enough attention to who they're giving out their stuff for. They see a number and they go off of there. And then when they see this kind of anti-woke drama get off, most game devs, even some of the more wretched woke ones in there, besides the ones that comment on X and get into the trenches with the anti-wokers, don't want to deal with the culture war. They don't want to be involved with it. They don't want to be hated it. So when they, this is a small company that's trying to make their rise. They don't want to get taken down when you've got the biggest streamer they have on the thing telling everybody, "Oh, I'm about to get canceled." They're like, their thought process is probably like, we're about to get flooded with stuff. So we're going to go ahead and just separate ourselves quietly. We don't want to be in the culture war.
But
unfortunately,
they're probably going to move to another project.
They got flooded anyways. Like, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Their whole fucking project, nobody knew about it until fucking, like, this whole fucking drama bullshit. I never heard of it until they dropped her. So it did get a lot of eyes on her. Like, either way, dude, it's like there was a reason why people were going after big individuals. Personally, if I was like working with someone like this, I would have probably just like dropped them as well out of principle if I didn't know who they were or what their antics were about.
Yeah, and as for Chibi, I think he's getting on this way too late. Okay,
he's going on. I just saw Chibi is going on Yellow Flashes tonight.
He's getting networking.
Dude, can we watch that? Can we please fucking watch that? Can we please?
I'll see if it's there. Okay, let's see if it's on. Okay,
I want to fucking watch that just to fucking laugh at him and how stupid he sounds.
I'm going over him tomorrow. I don't know that they're on yet. I saw it was like a couple minutes, or probably about 10-15 minutes ago that I saw.
Yep. Okay. Let's do this as a closing bit. Just random stream snipe, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Like,
let's bring it.
Who cares, man? If it's stream snipe with Shibi reviews. Yeah, no, they're live right now. Okay. They're live right now. They're live right now.
I'm bringing it up.
Or when this book came out, nobody really read it. So every issue.
Demion. They have some of the biggest hitters here.
Lovely.
You gotta love this. You gotta love this. No, of course, no close.
Yeah, they're all shooting up in value, big time.
Hey, Flash, when you're done with your omnibus, send it to me. All right.
Hell no, I'm keeping it. I'm gonna read it again. I've got the first and the third one now. I'm waiting on the second one. It's
Ironheart disaster.
It's not out of print. It's out of stock.
When are we expecting the next season? Is it next year?
Doom Dark Ages dead on arrival. Kirsche Chibi reviews drama.
What they did with season 2, splitting season 2.
Dude, how's their drama with Chibi reviews? You're trying to force a square peg in a round hole with Chibi.
Oh, no,
I mean, he's pushing hard.
So far, I've read his. I've been going through a lot of his information, his past and stuff like that, which I'm gonna bring up tomorrow. This is a pattern for him. I want to say, like, I haven't fully come to a decision because I haven't watched everything, but it seems like he did get some bad harassment and stuff like that I think happened.
Yeah.
And he got doxxed and stuff like that.
I was following that drama when it happened. Like, that was fucking like 100% like fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But ever since that happened, all he's been doing is fucking feeding the trolls, man.
Yeah, and he uses it to spread victimhood. So this is just another opportunity he saw to get into bed with bigger YouTubers and complain about.
And again, here's the
stuff.
thing, like, dude, he's getting up in here with like fucking Yellow Flash and goddamn Endymion. I find it so funny too because
the new SJWs people.
No, yeah, exactly. But dude, what the fuck is Endymion even doing? He hasn't even fucking said a thing since.
Who the fuck knows? I consider him a low hanging fruit motherfucker. Okay, I don't like covering him because he's too much of a joke. I thought about doing also the Sun Grand. That was truly funny. What Sun Grand sort of fall on.
Don't even bother with that. It's not even fucking worth your time.
It's funny as shit, but other people covered it better.
And Fertango was the first one who jumped on it. Like, dude, like forget it. Like, as soon like I got my Sun Grand filled from Fertango. I don't need any more.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, occasionally I might look, but sometimes if it's being covered by other people, I don't
turn
give
on
a fuck.
Turn on the volume. I want to hear what the fuck they're saying.
Okay, yeah.
About the red carpet for him, man.
Yeah,
That's
they
nice
gave him
for
a
you guys.
plane. They gave him a plane, which
Yeah.
shouldn't
Taking a cheap
that's
tips
all I
was
see.
before
I've
that.
been watching this CNN clip of them complaining about him being gifted a plane.
Yeah, wait, what was the rule? Like 50 is a shot? Is that the rule you said?
At the
Sorry, I
moment,
missed
yes.
this.
I
They
got it.
tried to
First
say
5,
insulting
50 is the
nickname
shot,
for the
and then it
MC.
goes to 100.
All right, I'll
I'm
No,
not sure what that is.
So wait, how many shots?
Yeah, we're rounding down, Romeo.
Yeah, just one.
Yeah.
I mean, you can take as many as you
I don't
want.
have much whiskey.
Oh, no,
We're wrapping
not
up,
light
so
for me.
I am a lightweight. I cannot handle my
True.
alcohol.
Yes,
thought
you
I was
are a
a lightweight
lightweight,
until
Chibi. You're a
last week, and then I
fucking
realized,
goddamn
hang on, I'm
pussy.
still
No, I'm
standing.
not surprised. Thank you.
Who's taking a shot?
whoa, you're going hard. You're going hard, man.
Like I have 5-year-old.
Cheers.
You don't look like
I
a
don't know
five-
what's entertaining about this
You'll be
fucking
alright.
content.
BBQ whiskey, dude. Japanese.
I really don't.
Ooh.
She'll be right, Robbie.
What are they
Thank
talking
Thank you,
about?
Mark. On his super chat, let me pull this up. I'll show you that mobile McDonald's.
Oh, super chat. Yeah.
They pulled this shit up for him.
This is why I don't do stream sniping very often. I
Hold on.
don't mind
Oh, man,
sitting
that's
certain. I don't mind going to these streams. I just find this content so fucking brain dead annoying. Okay, I understand. You want to support your favorite content creators in their movement. Their movement is fucked. Is fucking sucks at this point.
Dude, chill. You want to see a super chat?
Do I? I don't
Yeah,
know. War
dude,
Daddy
man.
keeps on dropping out, but he's back. Welcome back. You're back to see a super chat. Put it in private chat if you want me to display it. Or actually, I don't know about my thing. Yeah, you can put it in private chat. You can try.
Oh, who
With the
says I was
present
super chatting
feature?
you? Who said I was super chatting you?
Oh, you're gonna
My
super
God,
chat
this thing
him?
doesn't like to work for me, does it?
Okay, I'll wait for it.
Hold up.
I'll wait for it.
Let me just
Oh,
mute.
fucking
Let's
hell.
just mute him mute his stream real quick because I
Yeah.
don't want to fucking.
The stream's been muted. I
No,
can't
I want
take
to
it.
mute it on my end, like unmute it on your part.
I mean, I'll listen for a bit, see if there's
One of the most
anything
powerful
of
men in the
value.
world, so it's like he's living life, dude.
I just love his voice.
And see,
The way he
you know,
comes
when
back.
we get served McDonald's and they like sort of half fuck the order or something like that, he's not getting orders like that. He's getting like the freshest fucking cooked McDonald's.
Is he though?
I reckon he would.
What the fuck are they going on about?
I have no
This is
idea.
like, why did I suggest Simon? Simon, get your super chat out, please.
Yeah, hold
please.
on, hold on,
This is
hold on,
unbearable. Unbearable. Oh God, don't want. This is why.
Sir Grad
This is the
actually
point of
mentally-
my stream where brain damage occurs. About 2 hours in, about
Yeah.
record for me.
Yeah.
So
Well, here's one thing. Like, I don't understand this idea of having like 15 people. 15 people in a call trying to talk about stuff. This just doesn't matter to me.
this is like
Oh.
replacement for losers who have no real friends, so they have to feel like these content creators. This is a parasocial relationship. That's my running theory with this.
Well, it's Twitch poll for the anti-woke.
Yeah, you're probably right, but they're even more dumb. I don't respect the Twitch poll people very much, but these guys even make it look even dumber. I didn't know Hero Hey was familiar with Neon from Clownfish TV. That's a channel I used to watch a little bit.
Ugh.
They were born as
Clownfish.
fuck. Okay. I tried watching them. I'm like, okay, they have occasional good takes, but they were just too boring. Hell, I used to watch Steven Crowder. I used to like Steven Crowder. He had this whole bit about Devil's Advocate, but this was years ago. Are we getting the super chat from you, Simon?
Hold on. I'm writing it.
Okay. Not pressing you. Well, I am sort of because I don't put it. Let's listen a little bit more.
And then we got just a heads up from Dexter's Lure Lab for 20 says Chrissy Mayer is going to be on Dr. Drew's live stream on Wednesday. Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, wow.
Oh, so interesting.
That's like right up her alley, though, because isn't he just talk about sex?
Pretty much.
Yeah, so that's like actually a good fit.
Yeah, I don't
God,
think
how
Chrissy
long have they
talks
been
about sex
running?
all that much
30 minutes
anymore, or since she became a mom. You know what I mean?
She has a whole show called.
Sorry, I love the chatters who come in. You never liked, yeah. I admit, I thought his Devil's Advocate. He had a few good things for a while. Okay, I'm not going to defend my old like of Steven Crowder, but I did like him there for a bit. What, you also watched him? You have that embarrassing pass behind you?
I didn't watch necessarily him, but I watched clips, you know. I think any guy who was leaning on the right was watching all of the Ben Shapiro and
See, I never
Crowder
watched Ben
clips.
Shapiro, okay, but I wasn't really on the right. I'm like middle of the road. That's why I get called a fucking centrist all the time. I'm not really anything. I go with what makes sense, okay? And now that the right is just losing their shit, I can't go with them, okay? They've gone postmodernist. They've gone, I think, I care. I don't care about what you think I care. Facts don't care about your feelings, bitch. Despite not watching Ben Shapiro very much, I like that from Ben Shapiro. But that's dealing with all these people talking about their feelings. I'm not a very big feeling guy. I am full board toxic masculinity most of the time, okay? Give me the facts, and then we can talk about how you feel about those facts. But make sure those facts are fucking right in the first place. That's been my thing all along. And we're still waiting.
Yeah. Trying to fucking like get the character limit, not pay him too much money to get more characters.
Understand. Don't want to waste too much money on this shit. We'll see. Let's see if they bring it up. I mean, I didn't follow a lot of these motherfuckers like Atreus with it. I know Damage Sector went through Smashed AT and Super Chat. I respect Damage Sector. Damage Sector's attempts at this, but I just don't think it's worth it. I think they're being too good faith with these bad faith actors, but I've been following this for way too long. Let's listen a little bit more.
I'm from California, so I think I get it.
Also, chat, don't forget. So when we hit 83,500, we'll also do a shot for that. And then 84,000, we'll do a shot too.
Every
so
500.
Get in there and buy your books. Buy the book.
Buy the book.
Buy the book.
What
Oh, shit.
Which book?
That's
Which
dangerous.
book?
Oh, shit. Here we go.
Dangerous doing that right
now. Oh, God.
God, these guys are so retarded.
I don't know how. As I said,
Perfect timing. Perfect timing, too. Perfect fucking timing. Eat shit, Flash.
Make sure you say.
Did we get it? Did I miss it?
No, you didn't. I just
there
posted
you are.
it.
Hey,
there it is.
I find this extremely insulting writer working full-time, pays for. Let's see if he brings it up. Come on.
My bottle's running empty. I'm gonna have to go open a new thing of.
Let's see if he skips it
because I'm actually almost out of Jack Daniels.
Figure eight some alcohol.
Dude, this show is gonna get so messy.
It is.
Well,
come on.
We'll see. We'll see.
I'm literally drinking this whiskey that's 43% alcohol.
Pussy. Let's see if he says
I
it.
gotta pour myself another
I
shot.
mean, yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Minus 57.8%. But
You gotta get me messed up.
Jesus.
So Alexis Sanabria for 50 says, not sure what to say for 50.
Okay, we're almost there.
Go with this. Hero Hay sounds like Topher Grace from that 70s show. Lol, no hate. Peace and love to Flashcast.
Okay.
And
Come
friends.
on, boy.
Thank you, Topher Grace. So if you did
mute in for now. Sheesh.
I hate all those buttons that they use.
No,
I'm
I
just
hate him.
too old
I
for that
hate it
shit.
too. I hate it too. It's like fuck. Get your soundboard out of here, you fucking cringe lord.
Yep. I'm betting he's gonna just be like, I am curious. Wow. Yeah, might as well. It's funny.
Cheers.
Oh yeah, I
Cheers.
Come on,
This
I
is
want to
so
end the
dangerous
stream.
right now.
Okay.
Bro,
Simon,
Come
yeah,
on,
Flash,
Flash,
read it.
Come on, Flash,
ideas.
read it.
Come on, man.
Put it back on
Come
because he
just
might not
get
pull it up
over
on
with.
screen.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I
It's
can't
right
drink
there.
anymore, man. I'll black out, bro.
Come
I
on,
can't
Just dropped.
Nah.
Oh, quit this for cowards.
Tom!
Verbal's going to be the one sober guy.
Okay, I'm gonna wait until he puts it on the stream. I can't
No,
wait for this,
don't
these
just keep
motherfuckers.
listening to it. He might not put it on the stream, man, because he's too much of a fucking pussy.
Be
no,
sober
me-
and then
Let's
he's gonna
see,
leave
let's
the show
see.
early to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Tom bounced.
If I
Come
like
on,
black
come on.
out, just
I think
Hey,
Endymon's already
Flash.
asleep.
Yeah.
Oh, this
Did
is
you
why
see the
Tom
age?
left because of this.
What the
Those are so cute.
Let's see. This is
What
our
is
Andy.
These are creepy.
No,
You
you're
look at-
still
you
No, it doesn't look like he's
Still-
going to bring it up.
5 years old.
no
Looking
pussy.
real damn good.
Scary. Ask
Seriously.
me about Twitch drama. What the fuck is the Twitch drama? I don't
Look,
know.
it's- I
Oh
probably-
my God.
I'm
Probably
adorable.
be-
Dude, I look just like my niece there. Oh, I need my hat. I look
If
just
you want my
like
take
niece.
on Twitch drama, Twitch sucks.
And then
Why
there's
would you
these
use
guys.
it?
Yeah. What's your
Flash.
point?
Wow.
Wearing
Real
a
riveting
mask.
It was
fucking.
kind of hard.
There.
That goes
So
hard.
hard
man.
hitting commentary. Oh,
Bro.
do it. This is not a good look. This is fucking not a good look. Chibying down, making what the fuck
He's
is
too
up
much,
with them?
dude. He's too much of a fucking coward to fucking bring up my super chat. What a fucking
Yeah.
loser!
I swear. Is it Demion just sleeping there? It looks like he's
Yeah,
sleeping.
well, it sure the hell
I've
looks
never
like it,
seen.
dude.
I've never seen a stream wherein Demion actually ever said much of anything. Like the Goonergate stream they went through, he never said
No,
a
no,
single
he like
thing.
the
on
guy.
there.
The guy tends
Oh,
to be. Like,
He is alive.
he's just there for the clout.
That's wild, man. That's half my
Probably,
rent.
probably. That's how these things go.
Hey, Mr. Melancholy.
Oh, he skipped yours.
Yeah, coward. What a
Like,
fucking
just-
coward. What a
Like, no,
pussy.
I get
well,
Yeah, you don't need to turn things
I,
on.
I understand too.
Yeah, you understand your pitches who take money and
No,
don't
no.
give-
He hasn't skipped it. Melancholy? No, Isaac?
Okay, yeah, okay. That is the 7 months. They just 17 months super chat. Okay, well,
Okay.
Yeah,
we'll
no,
stick
that
around.
that one isn't there. Like he hasn't skipped it yet. That one was before
Okay,
me.
not yet, not yet. Let's see if he finds an excuse. I find this rather reductive, but we'll hang in there. See if he does it. I
I
mean,
doubt
this-
I doubt that he will, man, because let's be real, he's too much of a fucking coward to fucking like bring up super chats. They're actually
Oh, maybe
critical
he'll
of him.
prove you wrong. Flash, man. Come
Come
on,
on,
prove
Flash. Come on,
Simon
Flash.
wrong. Prove Simon. Oh, what?
They're
Oh!
hoping it gets better. Like, you
He
know.
brought it up. He brought it up.
They
He
hope
brought it
it's
up.
look better if you look at
He brought it up and then put it
For
back
like
down.
half a
Like, nah,
second.
it ain't
Oh,
better.
thank
There
you.
he goes.
I know this person's mad at me. Simon Robinu for 13.99 says, "Hey Flash, I find it extremely insulting as a writer who works a full-time job and pays both his illustrator and editor out of pocket. You can pay your comic artist with following.
Come on.
like
How do you
yours."
answer? It's
I don't
insulting.
understand that. Flash
Wait,
is
wait.
like Flash gave basically a partial ownership of the book to. Isn't that right?
Yeah,
To
he owns
do it?
40% of the IP.
Partial
Like, I don't
ownership.
understand that comment.
And I can tell you right now, he's gonna make well over his page rate.
Okay, maybe.
Flash, this is Flash. What Flash is doing for work, like.
And I
This
paid
is
my
his
editor
work.
out of pocket.
A royalty percentage is
I don't
not
get
something.
that. Okay.
I don't know what's going on there.
Sounds
Thank you
good.
to the
Sounds
Thax.
good.
Yeah,
Why
like
do you
He's
want
his
dismissing it
audience.
completely. What
Yeah.
a fucking
Whatever.
loser. A
Lot-
royalty percentage.
Simon, you're just a hater. Okay, sorry, man.
No,
We have
but
to
no, that's the thing.
We both
Here's-
have to
he's saying-
disassociate from you.
Yeah,
We
lol.
can't take. No, I'm joking.
Lol.
Okay.
No, but that's so funny.
I
too,
find that.
because a royalty percentage doesn't translate. Isn't something you should do.
Well,
Like,
it's his book. That's an
His
opinion,
book
man.
isn't going
Okay.
to do numbers, dude. Let's just get out of the way. His royalty.
Hey,
mean-
hey. Only time will tell. That you can definitely. I would clip this and be like, throw it in his face later if this bullshit Why Alyssa Mercante getting brought up? I swear these guys are such obsessed losers.
What's funny
How
about
is
this
she
whole thing
relevant to this? Go on.
It's like 1,000 of these people. I feel like, because I'm always finding new characters. Half of these people I don't even know. I just happen to see them in another one of these group
I don't
chats.
know these people either.
And it's all of them versus Alyssa McConte, and it's so fucking funny.
A gangbang,
wow.
okay.
Yeah,
Plus
something like that.
Hey, I
Only
never
they're
like a
getting fucked
dog.
too.
I never like a dog pile, no matter who it is, even against fucking Anna Waifu, who definitely seems like she's going a little bit more on the racist side.
I just wrote not in the super chat, but your shitty comic ain't going to do enough numbers for a royalty percentage to pay off your artist.
Well, that's only something time will tell, man.
Well, that's
I guess we'll see.
Here's the thing with royalty percentage. Like, this is something that I was looking into as well to some extent when I was starting out. But then I realized that in order for that to make matter, for his artist to actually own for that 40% ownership to actually mean anything for his artist, he's going to have to sell at least over how many, over 10,000 copies, probably even more. Not even. Again, it also depends on how much work is it, because you have to remember, it's like 10,000 copies. How much is the book going for? Like what, $10?
Looks like he's selling it between, if it's this book, it's $17 to $35. I guess that's depending on hard copy.
You're
or
such an idiot, dude. His art, and how much is he? And his fundraiser goal is for how much? 10,000?
I don't know.
I that's something I'm curious to see. Like because last I checked, the bar wasn't that high, and he's having a hard time meeting it. And if he's selling it for like 17 something, his artist is not going to make anything out of this.
Well, that seems like, is this his first comic?
Yes, this is his first comic.
Like, you're talking about a high risk situation where he's not even sure that he's going to sell things, and it's very risky for the artist.
Here's the thing: a 40% ownership thing is something you do when you are already established. That's the problem, and he's not established. He's not a fucking established comic writer. Well, and from what people are saying, his comic is shit. Because a lot of other people in the comic industry have actually said it as well, that he's not that good.
It's up to the artist. I actually am like, it's up to the artist if he's made the deal.
The artist has made the deal, but you know what sucks? I've actually seen clips of the artist. He seems to have remorse because of it.
Oh shit!
Like he is having remorses because of working with this guy. So he is, and again, all that work in for like a measly fucking payout that he would have made more had he just charged Flash for a fucking one and done commission fee.
Yeah, I mean, if you get a new artist who's good into this field and they don't know the business, they maybe royalties sound really good because you get paid forever, right?
Yeah,
but that's not generally how royalties work.
You get paid forever, but you only get paid if your book does well.
Yeah, I was
he's right about that. If this fucking falls flat, this guy's gonna.
It is. That's the thing. It is going to fall flat. It already is. Why do you think he's doing this little fucking stream and he's fucking like rage baiting it with Shibi fucking drama? It's because he's trying to get people, and again, nobody in his fucking audience is actually buying this shit. And the only reason why people are actually supporting it is because fucking Eric July is pushing it.
Oh, Eric July is pushing this.
Ripperverse and all that bullshit. Like, that's the only reason why he's actually getting any sort of like numbers on this piece of shit. Because if it was only him, he wouldn't be getting diddly jack on that. Because
I didn't even know about this comic until recently. Okay, this is how I know about Ripperverse. That's pushed enough.
But you didn't know about even that comic. I
didn't. But I'm not part of his audience. Okay, I don't follow this.
But I've briefly been following it from some other people. So, and again, this just infuriates me to no fucking extent because I pay my personal illustrator and my editor out of pocket. And I work.
Yeah, he's right. You're mad. You're mad, but
I am
you
mad.
have a good reason to be.
I am mad. I am mad. I'm
Okay.
100% mad because at this point, this is something that I am as a creative, and this shit pisses me off. Because
I can understand. He's just doing this as a side hustle.
No,
Okay,
and again,
this is just merch for his audience.
Merch, and from what I've seen from his comic, it's not even that good. It's not original by any semblance of the word.
Like it ever is. Okay,
No,
Eric
it-
July, from what I've seen, he's a little original, but that's only from the outside that I can say that. I don't have any clue about this fucking comic he's pushing, but he's using the whole.
From what I've seen, it's basically a fucking like Power Ranger like American type of thing, like alternative history thing.
Yeah, that's what it's.
And
I'm
the
looking at
worst
the
part-
comic
and
right
here's the-
now.
and
That's a little sus.
And that's the thing that sucks is that Eric July has pushed and said that he doesn't like alternative history stuff, yet he's pushing Flash's comic.
Of course, it's
and like I said,
all the boys club. Okay.
Yeah, and like I said, it pisses me off to no extent that someone with a following like him can't be even bothered to pay his artist out of pocket, and instead rolls with this fucking like 40% ownership deal on his first fucking comic that isn't going to do the numbers that he wants it to do. Because the reality is Flash isn't that good. He is not critical.
Okay. Let's. I understand you're mad about it. And,
You are looping
my
a little
voice
bit on it.
probably
Sorry, man.
broad
I'm
on
sorry,
that.
man. I'm
Let's
sorry,
end on
man.
the cure. That's fine. I would have stopped you if I would have needed to. I let you go on. I think that was a good bit.
Hey, if you want to
bring
current,
up.
I was gonna say if you want the current things right now, I just pulled up the website. 100,000 is what they're going for the pre-order goal. They've sold 82,060 total sales numbers, I guess. So they're at 82% of their sales goal.
But that was over the course of like how many months at that point?
I don't know. I can't find a beginning. Nowhere on this
You're not
page does
helping
say
War
when they
Daddy
started.
Gaming. War.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna.
I
Call
know.
you
I
War.
know.
It's
I
easier.
know. You're just. Yeah, you can just call me
War. What is it
Just don't
good
call me
for? Here,
Daddy.
just extending this shit. But let's get back on the Kirsche shit. Just finish up, push your shit. Let's just push our shit. I have no shit, but finish up with the Kirsche shit. I think it's bullshit. Asmongold is going full board. As they were bringing up with the Alyssa stuff, he's totally co-signed the harassment of Allison. Just from what we were seeing. And I guess these guys are on board with it. And look, let me just bring it back up real quick because here's their whataboutism. Here's their whataboutism. She's a simp for Hassan.
There it is, rare.
She's a simp for Hassan. YouTube, okay? Bullshit, in my opinion. Okay, yes. She's a dumb chick on the left. Of course, she's gonna simp for Hassan. I think Hassan's horrible. And I think fucking G Coops disagreed with you that Hassan has what the fuck? It was way back. Okay. Basically saying he doesn't think Hassan has principles. I could sort of see where he's saying money, money, money. He seems like a dude who's just writing leftists for money and clout. I can almost agree with that. I think with this terrorism shit, which he's all on board with, he's fine with it. And I find that really fucked up. He cries about getting stopped at the border by Border Patrol. This is what most normies who fucking tweet out this shit. Take it up with Homeland Security, motherfucker. But that's sort of getting off of it. Kirsche is trying to make herself out to be a martyr. I think it's some bullshit stuff. I think it's a little bullshit to go after sponsors like Benny or all those people are trying to do. I think they should just point it out to audiences and saying she's just going to have to go deeper and deeper into this shit the way she's going, because that's the way I see it. Her audience is dragging her into the alt-right territory. She probably doesn't want to go, but she's willing to bait it. I think she's going to go further into that because this anti-woke stuff, I don't know how much longer it's going to be a very viable trending thing. Atreus brought up that he's losing out. Okay, of course he's a little bit of a bitch. I like him in some ways, but he's still a fucking one of these motherfuckers with no principles. And I have no shit to push. Any closing statements? War?
Yeah,
what are you good
I
for?
I think she's too late to the anti-woke grift. In my opinion,
she's been
it's a funny thing.
She's been trying to take a different angle with the bridge stuff, but that didn't work out for her. So she's trying something different. But go on.
Right. Yeah. So I think she's a little late to the anti-woke stuff. I think she's just doing the basic anti-woke bullshit to hopefully try and get in on these big guys. She might make some money off of it, but I plan to see a rise in BreadTube. I'm actually surprised more BreadTube people haven't, like, they're going broke, but I'm surprised they haven't started pushing hard on the Trump
There's
stuff.
up and comers I'm seeing who I think is taking advantage of this shit. I think they're going to they're becoming the counterculture now that the right is becoming the dominant culture.
Yeah,
it's going to be the swing of the pendulum.
Yeah, pretty much is what's going to happen. So I think she's a dumb bitch. She doesn't really have any good takes. You could ignore her and not listening to her doesn't teach you anything. That's about all my take.
She's definitely wrong on that CEO, whatever the fuck it was called. The COP. It definitely seems like some sort of she used Jordan Levy or whatever the fuck's name. I had this whole thing. She's stupid or she's lying with the articles that she is reading. So they don't even have a date on it. The best I can get is 2016 from this Dr. Levy person. So yeah,
I would probably push incompetent over flat. Like I don't think she's incompetent. I don't think
she knows what she's doing, but she doesn't know what she's doing. She knows it's getting her more viewers, more engagement, more attention, but she doesn't know where it's going to lead her. And I'm curious what she's going to do if that realization ever hits her. Is she going to go over to the other side, or is she going to have a come to Jesus moment, sort of like Nuray's had? Nuray's, I think, was really just falling for this stuff, and she took a push back when she realized some of those people. I think she went a little bit too hard with it, but I don't like the whole racist angle. I think it's more about people getting into that mindset where they're willing to embrace these terrible ideas, which will lead to racism and a lot of terrible things. But it's not necessarily racism. It's a neo-racism. Let's call it neo-racism. It's not about skin color. It's about culture and being bigoted on different terms.
Well, my thing is racism generally isn't something that just like you don't just step into, like, you're not just racist. Like, I don't really believe in a lot of that stuff. You can be raised racist. I've known some super racist people, but it's usually as a product of something. Like right now, like let's see, World War II, Japanese internment camps, Japanese hate, Chinese hate during what is it, the COVID virus. Usually it spurs up because of something, and then people start attacking a group as a mob, and that becomes racism.
Yeah, it typically is how it works. It's small little baby steps towards this sort of crap historically, from what I've seen, and from a psychological perspective. Yeah, a lot of the left promoted a lot of anti-racism, which anyone who's gone into the geek stuff, the thing, anti-racism sort of is racism. We discriminate, blah, blah, blah. Don't want to get too much into the politics there. Anything you want to push or stream, I let you do it in the beginning, but it's standard to do it at the end. Just streaming.
Yeah, I stream a couple times a week. You can check out my schedule on Twitch. Tomorrow I'm going to be catching up and doing my chibi reviews. Sometimes I game. A lot of times I like talking about these different characters, whether they're in the anti-woke or they're just weird freaks. So come by and we can talk about people.
Yeah.
As for me, well, I've pretty much has said it multiple times in the stream. I'm a writer who writes fantasy novels. My book is titled Blood Wench, my fantasy series. So if you want to check that out, it's available on Amazon at the moment on paperback and digital copies. And I also have a physical copies only available up on Barnes and Nobles. And if you're on a budget, the first volume with no illustrations is also up on Royal Roads and Web Novel.
And I notice on your channel you have at least 2 voice
promotional
segments.
promotional videos for it as well. So I'd say check those out if you actually want a little sample of what I am currently working on.
DM or put in the Discord anything you want me to include in the description. I'm sure some people are going to come around. They typically do afterwards to sort of hate on me because my takes aren't the typical. But yep, that's about it.
Also, just a quick side note regarding the whole Yellow Flash thing. I actually did a quick math on it. His illustrator is looking at maybe like making or at least 500 grand out of this in total, if we were to take like his words for it. But I'm pretty sure like there's a royalty cut for the promotion from Ripperverse, and probably like a percentage cut from like the
I hope he
platforms
gets
he's selling on.
I hope you're wrong. I hope he doesn't get screwed. Sorry.
I hope so.
Simon.
I hope he doesn't get screwed either. His artist, at least for Yellow Flash on his end, I hope he gets fucking fucked in the ass personally when it comes to that.
You can't have both, man. Just like you can't have the ad apocalypse and
but I know, but it just kind of sucks too because I feel bad for his artist because it really depends where he's selling this on and what cut these platforms take from it as well. Because if you look at just like the raw numbers, like the brute number that he's going to make out of it, it's pretty good. But then you have to take into account how much does a platform take in service fees, how much does the marketing cost, and how much do they take from that as well. Yeah, if I'm going to take a rough estimate, I think his artist probably going to like make like at least 100 grand from this. That's my rough estimate on it.
I'll probably take a look at that later, but I have other rabbit holes that I want to get off.
Other rabbit holes.
Anti-woke stuff. Oh God, don't even give me started.
And you know what? Yeah, you do kind of sound like Yellow Flash. Sorry, man.
Fucker.
Yeah.
Okay, end of the stream on that. Fuck you. Fuck. Thank you, anyone who watched that.